What is up, everybody? How are y'all doing? Are we doing good? Are we behaving? I doubt we're behaving. It's a Sunday morning. I can't believe I'm awake. I spent all day yesterday in the bed, catching up on sleep. It was glorious. What up, what up? Good morning. All right, let's get started.
Eiley gets real. Talk slick, better keep it sealed. T's hot, mask off. Let's go. Step in the chat, it's the final bell. Sally in black, got receipts from hell. Drama queen, nah, I'm the drama dealer. Truth so raw, make a snake turn healer. Mic in my hand with a hit list long. You faked your life, well I wrote your song. No chill, no filter, mask ripping deeper. Lights out, baby, it's the law code reaper. Fill that tea, call it out. Fake get caught when the reaper's out. Say my name, say it loud. Sally don't play, she calls the cloud. One by one they fall asleep, but secrets don't die, I dig too deep. Cameras on, it's getting real. Larko Reaper, sign a deal. Who's next up? I smell that fear. You built a lie, I built a career. DMs leak like a faucet broke. Your truth is a joke and I ain't provoked. Clickbait queens, you all look shook. I don't need edits, I wrote the book. Fake apologies, you can keep that mess. I wear black cause I bury the BS. You wanted the smoke, now you got the fire. Don't start no drama unless you're ready for the choir. Fill that tea, call it out. Fake get caught when the reaper's out. Say my name, say it loud. Sally don't play, she calls the cloud. So one by one they fall asleep, but secrets don't die, I dig too deep. Cameras on, it's getting real. Larko Reaper, sign the deal. Reap what you post. Sally knows. You talk, I show. Larko Reaper, end of the show.
Bam, 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 bam. What is up, everybody? How are y'all doing? Look, we got a new Axel picture. Look at him. He's raking the leaves. He's outside doing his chores, raking his leaves. Isn't that cute? I think he's cute. I can't help it. How are y'all doing this morning? Everybody doing good? I literally spent all day yesterday sleeping. I catched up on a whole week of sleep yesterday. Good morning. All right, so we hit the goal. As you can see here, we hit the goal. Now, I was thinking, okay, hold on. Wrong button. Okay, there we go. I was thinking 12 hours. I wish it was just 12 hours. I would like go to sleep for like a good 8, and then I would wake up, say something in the Discord. I even jumped into a voice chat, and then I was like, you know what? I want to go back to sleep. Went back to sleep for like another 5 or 6. Got up for a few hours, and then we're right back to bed. So I was thinking, how would y'all feel if I looked at some docs about either DSP or Review Tech USA? How would y'all feel about that? Like some retrospective ones? Would that be dope? Yes or no? Hey, good morning, Bubbles. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. First, let me get rid of this. Well, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to hide it. That way, so we'll move this one up. That's for the goth makeover. I'm going to run a poll with y'all, and I'm going to see which one y'all would do. Well, see, Richie Dubs, you say DSP is kind of played out. I'm going to be honest with you. I know nothing about him. The only thing I know about DSP was something like he left the live stream going and he was watching some stuff. That's the only thing I know. Oh, And I know he begs for money. That's it. That's the only thing I know. Oh, and something about a game that he's addicted to, which I don't even know what game that is. That's the only thing I know about DSP. Is that what they call it? They call it the incident? The great fat. See, I don't know these things. I have no clue. All right, look, I'm gonna have y'all do a poll, all right? And whatever which one that y'all pick, we will do. All right, does that sound fair? So which one? Question mark. And then what I'll do is I'll do a goal to do either one of these. Because you know what? I am a fair ruler. I let y'all choose. I give y'all democracy. All right. So I'm going to let that run for a while. Xylee reacting to May 1st will be what? Wait, what's May 1st? Squatchin', what are you talking about? What the fuck is May 1st? Squatchin's like the illusion of democracy in the Xylearchy. True. Very, very true. Wait, you'll see. No spoilers. All right. All right, well, y'all pick which one y'all want to potentially watch. And when I get to a certain point, I'll cut it off. Oh, Richie's like the incident, a.k.a. May 1st burst. Oh. Okay, apparently Richie just spoiled it. Oh, so that was he left his live stream on thing? Yeah, I don't know these people. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know everything about Wings until I went over those two documentaries about him, and I was like, oh, damn, I didn't know Wings did all that. What the fuck? Eric, thank you for the 5. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you. Richie said, oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? Oh, wait. The camera was on? The camera was on? No. Okay, Muffin said, please June the King doc because it covers everything. What, for DSP? If we do DSP? It depends if we do a DSP or not. Squatchin'. Okay, Squatchin', it's okay. Squatchin', listen, I'm the type that you can tell me all about a movie before I go watch it. It's not spoiled for me. I'm one of those that I actually have to experience it for myself for me to get a reaction. You know what I mean? There's a difference between me being told and me actually seeing it or me actually doing it. You know what I mean? So we're good. Y'all leave Richie alone. You are not allowed to bully Richie Dubs, okay? He is a protected class in this chat. Zay Zooted. Good morning, Mama Xylee. Good morning, Zay. What's good, Overlord? Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to start with the Boogie2988 extravaganza. Hell yeah. Let's go. Bam. I knew Lunchbox was going to be here, not put a... One of these days, Lunchbox. One of these days, we're going to fight. We are going to fight. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. One of these days, bro. To the moon. Every time I ask for a 1, Lunchbox put everything but a goddamn 1. Shit. Okay, so the extravaganza is going to be 2 videos. I figured I would start with Turkey Tom's first, and this is why. One, Turkey Tom's was done May 26th of 2023. It's 2 years old. Where June the King's is actually only a year old. Okay? So I figured, and June usually goes deeper into subjects. So I figured we go ahead, do Turkey Tom's first, because Turkey Tom does a really good like overview on things I've noticed. I haven't watched this, by the way. And then tomorrow we'll go through June the King's, whatever we can tomorrow. And just to give y'all a heads up and reminder, tomorrow is my last day at 10 a.m. on the channel. Starting Tuesday, I will be back at 4 a.m. And from what Zay and Buff said, the 4 a.m. peeps are actually kind of happy for me to come back, which is cool. I like the 4 a.m. peeps. They were awesome. The 10 a.m. peeps, though, y'all have, y'all treated me so good. So I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to miss y'all. And I'll still be doing live streams on the weekends and stuff like that. The only reason why I didn't yesterday is because, honestly, I need to sleep. And the 4 a.m. actually will help me because on a regular basis, I don't go to bed until like 7 or 8 anyway. So it'll fit right into my sleep schedule. So, yeah, I know, Elias. But you know what y'all can do? Y'all can watch the playback and leave a comment. There's still things that y'all can do to help it out, you know? Can you 2 times speed it? We're not 2 times speed it. You know why? Because I'm not on a 2-hour block today. I'm only going to do 1.25. Because I don't need it at 2 times speed today. Heck, welcome to Cash Cow. Thank you. Hey, Heck. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, let's go.
Many YouTube icons come with an expiration date. While some walk away from a fan base perpetually starving for a comeback upload, others leave no legacy behind at all besides their languishing fame, being looked upon as little more than a relic of the past. For many people, that's what Boogie2988 is, an old fad, like chocolate rain that simply doesn't belong in this day and age. However, those who are unfortunate enough to know that he never left tend to know him as a pathological liar.
You know the sad thing is, when this video first came out, I would have agreed with that statement that he has no place. I would have agreed with that statement 2 years ago when this video came out. Matter of fact, wait a minute. I may have watched this video on my channel. I can't remember. I watch so much shit, bro. It's hard for me to remember these things. But honestly, 2 years ago, I would have agreed with that statement that he has no place. Now, I would say something totally different. I think he most definitely has a place. And I don't know. It's crazy. Just in like 2 years, how I've changed my outlook on Boogie now. You know? Okay, Gaga's like, yeah, sometimes we just need to take a weekend, period. Point blank, period.
Manipulator, and overall someone deserving of criticism and mockery. From pointing a gun at Frank Hassel's face to losing hundreds of thousands on cryptocurrency, Boogie's glory days are long gone, and his attempts to return aren't working. He's now been reduced to a lolcow, and one that is slowly losing interest even amongst his haters. This is the full lore of Boogie2988. Boogie, real name Stephen Jason Williams, was born in 1974 in St. Paul, Virginia, to a coal miner father and a schoolteacher mother, as well as 2 siblings. As he's often described, his childhood wasn't easy because of the stress that
he's on the complete, he was born in the very complete opposite side of the state from me. Complete opposite side of the state. Delta's like, yeah, I like Boogie now. He's funny. I love Boogie. I love Boogie. He has his issues. Yes, I have my issues too. We all have fucking issues. But honestly, deep down inside, he's a nice guy. And he's very fun to be around. And you can sit, like when you're in person with him, you can sit down and talk to him about anything. I adore Boogie now. Hey, Diz. Diz, wait, excuse me. Hold on, guys. I have to pay attention to Diz for a second. Diz, excuse me. You are supposed to be insulting me right now. You are supposed to be calling me the nuts waiting room. I will not feel loved until you do it. Hi, Diz. How are you?
comes from being a coal miner. His father was an alcoholic, which negatively affected the rest of the family in a myriad of ways. At the peak of his drinking problems, he was downing up to 30 beers in one single day, an extreme that scarred Boogie to the point that he would never drink alcohol even as an adult. To top it all off, Boogie...
Okay, well, that changed. He definitely drinks alcohol now, and it's Keemstar's fault. We have to blame Keemstar for that, all right? White Claw Fridays, we have to blame Keemstar for that shit. Look how cute look how his chubby cheeks when he was a kid. Holy shit.
He also claims his mother and sister were very mentally ill, making for an intensely toxic home environment involving lots of arguing and constant screaming, which he remembers as devolving into outright abuse coming from his mother. To make matters worse, Steve tended to have a lot of health problems, though initially not serious and the kind of thing people usually shrug off or take over-the-counter pills for, like the flu or allergies. However, these illnesses were chronic for him, causing him to stay home from school a lot. As you might expect, being inside all the time led to a habit that would haunt him for the rest of his life: overeating. Before he was even in high school, he had already dealt with a serious weight problem due to stress eating. It was also during this time he developed an interest in things like comic books, video games, and Dungeons and Dragons, which, though harmless on their own, certainly didn't help him to go outside more often. Meanwhile, his father...
Well, yeah, because he was homesick all the goddamn time. Damn. I don't remember that about Boogie. I didn't know he was sick all the time when he was a kid. Bro, baby Boogie looks like a middle school bully. It makes so much sense now. What's up, Blitzwolf?
Father's constant smoking and drinking, when paired with their increasingly stressful domestic situation and his exhausting job, was taking its toll on his health. Eventually, he suffered from a major stroke, one that left him basically immobile and unable to function. He was no longer able to hear and struggled a lot with communicating after he developed a stutter as a consequence of the stroke. Now, with just one parent to take care of him and his siblings, Boogie's support system was even smaller, and his binge eating severely worsened. It's tough enough to be raised by a single parent, but as his dad moved out of the picture, his mom's abusive behavior took center stage. Usually, in the absence of a healthy and nurturing home life, people seek refuge in their peers and community, but this wasn't an option for Boogie either, since his classmates did little besides mock him for his weight and appearance. Things were dire, and Boogie's future prospects looked very dark.
Kids are diabolical, bro. I'm gonna tell you now. Kids are fucking vicious. Vicious! Shit. Kids are mean. I do not care. Kids are mean. They're mean little shits. Tell me I'm wrong. Try to tell me I'm wrong. Kids are mean. Shit. Yeah, it is sad, isn't it? Aw.
At this point in his life, but thankfully during high school he was given an opportunity that would turn things around. Upward Bound is a federally funded pre-college program designed to give high school students a better opportunity at attending a university, targeted specifically at those in low-income or rural areas who may be less likely to seriously consider higher education. While participating in this program, he met others in similar situations to him who shared his interest in nerd culture. He bonded with a girl in the program over playing video games, which marked a silver lining on the dark cloud that had been his childhood up until this point. By the end of high school, he had friends and even a girlfriend, and upon graduating, he enrolled in the same college as her, the University of Virginia. But shortly thereafter, they would break up. And since this was his first serious relationship and one of his few sources of happiness, it hit him hard, sending him deep into a depression which affected his academic performance. His grades were so bad that he had to drop out, and once again, he was directionless. But thankfully,
I never know he went to I didn't know he went to UVA. What? Oh, see, that's why I like doing this shit, because I learned shit that I never knew that he even walked the halls of UVA. What the fuck?
his brother took pity on him after he noticed how much he was struggling and decided to offer him an opportunity to move away and start from scratch. Boogie took him up on that offer, not that he had many alternatives to pick from. While in Arkansas with his brother, his life once again saw improvement. More nerds in the
That's how he ended up in Arkansas. I was wondering, because I was thinking to myself, okay, how did somebody from Western Virginia, not West Virginia, but Western Virginia, okay, how did somebody from Western Virginia end up all the way over to fucking Arkansas? I never understood how he ended up in Arkansas. Now I know. There we go. Okay. Shit. Zay Zuda said, that's the reaction I get when I tell people I went to Penn State. Zay, you went to Penn State? Really? God, you fucking people make me feel stupid. I went to a goddamn community college and went to school for working on cars. And motherfuckers like you going to Penn State and Boogie going to UVA. What the? I don't even know what a real college even looks like from the inside, bro. I'm like blue collar. You know what I mean? Shit. Damn.
area meant making friends wasn't going to be difficult. Soon, he was participating in Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering sessions with his new social circle. On top of that, he learned how to code in HTML, which led to him working as a freelance web designer. One of the downsides of this was that he'd have to take clients he wasn't particularly excited about, such as seedy, not safe for work websites, but then again, it was still better than unemployment.
So I started using what I learned to start coding for the web, and I started doing web design, which was really fun, even though sometimes I ended up with clients that I didn't like working for who did kind of dirty stuff.
He was now a young man with a stable income and a healthy social life. However, he was still getting sick, and he was depressed very often. He never properly dealt with his childhood trauma, and because of that, he also never stopped binge eating, and the resulting weight gain worsened his other issues. At around this time, his father
You know what? I get the whole binge eating thing. I do. I'm sorry. I feel for him on that. I used to be over 300 pounds. I should have wore a size 30 pants for a woman. That's huge. But I refused to get in them. So I would have to, with a size 28, I would have to fold it in because I wouldn't be able to button it up. Like, I was so belly heavy that people thought I was pregnant. I couldn't see my feet. That's how fucking fat I was. And you know why I got that fat? Because food became my best friend. Because the one thing food won't do, food doesn't judge you. And food is there when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're depressed, when you're angry. Food will always be there for you. And when food becomes your best friend, you're fucked. So I get the whole, you end up basically becoming addicted to food 100% because it's a mental mindset. I was there before. I get it. I understand it. You know? Morbid Spirit said, I used to be almost 400 pounds. I feel you. Weighed 150 before I got knocked up. Food's a hard habit to kick. It is, very much so. Very much so. Food absolutely judges me. I have the opposite problem. Oh, food was my best friend, girl. I can tell you now, Zay, food was my best friend.
Passed away from cancer, and his mother broke her leg, a combination of events that condemned Stephen to a period of chronic depression that lasted a total of 7 years. During this time, he rarely left his house and was, for all intents and purposes, a NEET, not in education, employment, or training. As his motivation to work dwindled, the coding market became more and more competitive, causing his source of income to dry up quickly, a fate that was soon after met by his savings. Also, due to not leaving the house, his social life stopped existing. After all that he'd been through, he found himself back at square one, with the only significant change being that he was significantly more heavy. At his heaviest, he was just shy of 600 pounds. While his roommate financially supported him out of pure pity, YouTube was debuting as a video sharing platform. This early on, it was still mostly populated by home videos and vlogs, with the occasional viral video peppered throughout. While it was rudimentary, it was more than enough to pique his attention, and soon, he started posting content of his own. 16 years ago, in the ancient times of ye old 2006, the first video was uploaded to the Boogie2988 channel.
God damn, he's been doing this shit for 16 years? Bro, I can't imagine doing it for that long. I can't. I've only been on the platform, I think my channel's 5 years old. So if you take the DIY channel, that is no longer in existence. Y'all will never find that channel or the videos. You take away the DIY, you take the DIY channel. I think I've been on the platform as a content creator, maybe 6, maybe 7 years. Maybe 7 years. Yeah. I haven't been doing it as long as that. That's crazy to me.
It was a simple, short clip of a 31-year-old Boogie playing D&D. The videos kept coming, and because he appeared in them...
Actually, if it was 16 years ago from that date, it's actually 18 years today. I was 10. Wait, you were 10 in 2000. Buff, you weren't even born when I graduated high school, bro. I don't think. I graduated high school in 1994. And if I hadn't gotten too many fights in 8th grade, I would have graduated in 1993, but I had to repeat the 8th grade because your girl was out there fighting too much. Oh, his channel's now 19 years old. Yeah, so 19 fucking years. God damn.
His appearance itself would become a topic of conversation in the comments section. Since at this point he was used to people making fun of him for his weight, he made videos playing into the joke, such as "Fat guy eats McDonald's French fries."
This is damn food, I shouldn't eat so much of it. Shouldn't be eating at McDonald's, but I am.
Eventually, one of these videos saw a surprising amount of success, especially for early YouTube standards. The aptly titled "The Incredible Bulk" had Boogie ripping his shirt off, showcasing his M1 Abrams frame. Overall, people were very sympathetic towards him, as he embraced the mockery of his weight and seemed to be a kind and down-to-earth guy. But even at this stage, Steven's intention was not just having fun. He wanted to build a following online. Since back then the term YouTuber didn't exist and the thought of building a brand out of your personality was ludicrous and far-fetched, Boogie uploaded many different kinds of videos to try and get some views, such as this hypnosis video, which was seen over 5 million times. For the first few years of his channel's existence, he slowly built a community, with series such as Rambling About Nothing, where the only purpose was to engage with the viewer.
Magic the Gathering plane chase.
You know what it was? He was hungry. He was, and I'm not saying that as a joke either. I just realized what I just said. But he was hungry for it. He wanted that following. He wanted that community. A lot of times what you see with YouTubers, how they start out and how they end up are two different things. You know? When you start out at first, you're hungry. You want the followers, you want the community. And then when you get to a certain point, you'll find that a lot of YouTubers, once it becomes a job for them, they pivot. You know? But I believe he pivoted, but then because of lolcow and like his cancer arc and shit, he's kind of pivoting back. Because you see him uploading like his magic card videos again. He's doing his live streams with his magic card and he's actually enjoying his channel again. So I think what he's doing is, I feel like Boogie is pivoting back, which is a good thing. You know? Zayzu, stop being so damn shady, you shady bitch. What are you doing, you shady bitch? He was definitely hungry, that's for sure. God damn it. Side Guy said it was sad to hear him say he didn't want to die while doing lolcow live and have it be his legacy. You know, Side Guy, it was very sad to hear him say that. But here's the difference. And I think, oh my God, he's like my Discord best friend. I can't remember his name, Rastov. I think what Rastov said to him was correct. When they first started lolcow live, I would have definitely called Wings and Boogie lolcows. 100%. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't consider Boogie a lolcow anymore. I don't. Not a real lolcow. Most people in this universe don't really understand what a fucking lolcow is. And I don't see Boogie as a lolcow anymore. Say Zooty, welcome to Band World. Thank you. I don't. I think he's turned it around. Discord bestie. Thank you, DKS. He is my Discord bestie. Ricky says, you're a lolcow, Xylee. No. I spurg out. I definitely have my spurg out moments. I'm not a lolcow, though. If you think I'm a lolcow, you don't know what a lolcow is. Just saying. All right, press play.
People are really excited about it when watching the Zendikar spoilers.
In 2009, his channel hit 3,000 subscribers, which once again at the time was a respectable amount. Soon after, however, he uploaded a video explaining the absence of uploads, where he reveals his mother had died. But, unlike his previous bouts of complete inactivity due to some kind of tragedy in his personal life, Boogie came back with a vengeance and began playing a character. Francis, the living and breathing, though struggling to do so, embodiment of the basement-dwelling gamer stereotype, complete with Mountain Dew stains all over his shirt. In early 2010, Francis took a prominent role in Boogie's channel, partly for comedic purposes, and partly because Boogie enjoyed trolling those who were unfamiliar with his content into thinking Francis was a real person. Eventually, a Francis video was featured on Ray William Johnson's Equals 3, which was the early 2010s equivalent of having Moist Critical react to your video. Essentially, it meant you either were, or soon will be, really, really popular. The video that Ray showed was titled,
Am I the only person that didn't find Francis funny? Am I the only person that don't find Francis funny? Am I dumb? Buff Weave's like, it's like autism. There's a spectrum. Honestly, Buff, Yes, there is a spectrum, actually. Listen, I recognize people love Francis, and I am not saying y'all are wrong for loving Francis. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, nor am I judging you if you like Francis. Don't cancel me, motherfuckers. I'm just saying, for me personally, I don't find Francis funny. Richie Dub's like L. Xiley. Francis Easter Rage was hilarious. Okay, L. Xiley, I'll take my L. I'm sorry, okay, motherfuckers. Excuse me for not liking something that y'all like. I'm sorry.
Francis gets his Warcraft account hacked, and honestly, it's pretty tame compared to a lot of the stuff we see nowadays. Regardless, it was entertaining enough that nowadays it stands at a whopping 5 million views. This sets a precedent for Boogie, and in the following years, the Francis character will be the channel's bread and butter. The channel grew tremendously, to which Francis reacted.
Yeah, it's been a pretty exciting day, I guess.
The channel surpassed 13,000 subscribers, and a few other classic Francis videos also went viral, such as Fat Guy Destroys Xbox. However, despite how central Francis became to the channel, Boogie continued to also appear as himself because he genuinely enjoyed interacting with viewers, regardless of how out of context it.
No, not the white Xbox 360 console, and that was the original one. What the fuck are you doing, bro? No! Oh, God, you idiot. Idiot, that's the original Xbox 360. What are you doing, bro? The fuck?
Boogie continued to also appear as himself because he genuinely enjoyed interacting with viewers, regardless of how out of context it seemed alongside the comedy videos. While he did try a few other characters out, such as redneck stereotype Jesse, Francis retained his position at the top of the hierarchy. By the end of 2010, Boogie had 40,000 subscribers and had amassed 10 million views. In 2011, Boogie...
Okay, 40,000 subscribers was really big back then. 40,000 subscribers is like 1 million subscribers today. Legit.
Did a series of Let's Plays of Minecraft as Francis to capitalize on the growing gaming trend on YouTube, which at the time was at its very beginning. But along with these innovations, Boogie continued to post the tried and true format of Francis freaking out, such as, "Where's my Mountain Dew?"
Do you see my glass? I'm raiding in here, and I don't have any Mountain Dew.
Like, I saw some Mountain Lightning earlier.
Where did you hide the Mountain Dew?
With the extreme success of his channel becoming profitable...
Okay, this is what it is about Francis. It's the voice. That's what it is. It's the voice for me. I can't with the voice. I'm sorry. I can't. Richie, you can give me L's all day long, bruh. All right, it's the voice. It's 100% the voice. And Elias was like, I want my goddamn Mountain Dew! Give me L's. I don't care. L in the chat for Xiley for not liking the Francis voice. L in the chat for Xiley. I want to see a wall of L's, goddammit. Dorian's like, that's literally the whole character. The voice kills me. All right.
As YouTube's ad revenue mechanisms became more functional, Boogie moved out of the apartment he was living in and into a house with his girlfriend, who helped him record the videos and even quit her job to help him out with them. Part of the reason that it was so easy to play Francis as much as he did was because Boogie was indeed very passionate about things like gaming news and internet culture. All he had to do was play up the fits of rage while he spoke his mind, and he was consistently met with hundreds of thousands of views and decent money to go with. After successfully proposing to his girlfriend and opening a gaming channel called Boogie Plays Games, he hit the milestone of 100,000 subscribers. It's also around this time Google Plus integration was implemented, which forced people to use their real name to comment on videos and led to a general uproar on the platform, with Francis pitching in his 2 cents.
This is not better, this is worse! How did they make it worse? I didn't think there was anything worse than the Google comment section!
But since this was a more serious topic for him that he felt passionate about, Boogie also spoke on it out of character, and soon after, he was once again featured on Equals 3.
So recently, YouTube changed their comment system where now you have to sign into your Google Plus account before you can actually comment. Now, personally, I don't really care. I don't read comments that often, and frankly, it's just...
Don't put your real name on the Google Plus account. How about that? How about you have several accounts and none of them have your real name? Matt Snacks, member for 2 months. Thank you for being in Bad World. Criley saying she isn't a lolcow is a joke that writes itself. Oof. Well, Matt, thank you for being a member for 2 months on Bad World. I appreciate you. Just for you, Matt. Just for you. This heart is for you. God bless you.
YouTube, who gives a shit? But I've noticed people freaking out like, I gotta sign into Google Plus! What is this, Nazi Germany? But this guy Francis has this rant about the topic that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
By the end of 2013, he got married to his girlfriend, he had a better camera, and had grown a proper fan base of 1 million subscribers. In early 2014, he started appearing on TV shows and commercials, which marked the peak of Boogie's career.
I had a guy tell me, you're too fat to be on the internet. Kill yourself now.
He was now officially a mainstream YouTuber, not just a viral gag based on
Poke Gaga with, oh, God. Wait, is it gonna play? Is the TTS, why isn't the TTS playing? All right, well, we're counting it, God bless it, because that's, oh wait, first I gotta get rid of that one. Hold on. Unlock that, put that, oh no, wait. Put that up here, and then we gotta add one to that. I don't know why that didn't play because the TTS is why didn't that play? It's on. Well, thank you, Poke Gaga. I don't know why it didn't play. Why is the TTS not playing? No, it's not me. Is the TTS broke today? What the fuck? Hold on. Okay, I don't know, but let me add that to that. I'll still count it because I don't know why the TTS isn't working. That's retarded. Heck, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Allie, I can't wait for your new time slot. I'll miss nerds, but the late night crowd got you. Hell yeah, I'm excited for the late night crowd. I liked you guys. Yeah, I don't know why the TTS isn't working. Poke Gaga, thank you for the 220s. I already read the first one. The second one is saying testing 1 2 3. What I'm gonna do is after the live stream, I'll reset it and test it and see if whatever works. Thank you. I appreciate it though. Poke Gaga with the new 20. Fix the TTS. Hell yeah. Thank you. God bless it. Shit. Okay, we are now 10 out of 25. 15 more TTS, which I have to play as the TTS right now, but 15 more and I'm doing a goth makeover and I'm not excited about that because that means I'm gonna have to go out to the store and buy everything because a bitch ain't got no makeup right now. All right. Turtle Talk, thank you for being a world member for 7 months. Thank you for covering this. Yeah, no problem, Turtle Talk. Absolutely. Y'all hit the membership goal, so yeah, we're definitely doing it. Poke Gaga, well, I had to get to the half mark. I know that's right. Thank you. I appreciate it, Poke Gaga.
On Francis. He had a genuine fan base, a real community. A lot of people watched him because they genuinely liked him and considered him a kind, level-headed person with reasonable opinions. This persisted for years, with him receiving acclaim from every YouTuber under the sun, and many looking to him to weigh in on some of the biggest dramas from 2014 to 2017 with his opinion. An opinion that, at the time, people did value.
So let's start by talking about what happened to Felix, because I think everybody knows what happened to PewDiePie. PewDiePie made some very tasteless jokes that I did not personally find all that funny.
He would also talk about more serious issues, like when Matthew Santoro posted a video detailing physical abuse he suffered in a relationship. The fans put 2 and 2 together.
This bitch. Okay, fun fact. This was one of the first internet celebrities that blocked me because I didn't like her fat girl video. Pissed me off to high heaven. And she was one of the first internet celebrities to block me on Twitter, FYI.
Poke Gaga super chatted $20. Goth Reaper Gold. Let's go.
Wait, did y'all hear that? Wait, did y'all just hear the TTS go off? That was the one, like... Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and read it anyway. Heck for 20. Goth, let's hit it to annoy Xylee. Hell yeah. Let me add that. Thank you. Okay, maybe it's off or something. I don't know. All right, let's do 11. All right, 11 out of 25. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, so apparently it's running behind today. That was weird.
Pokagaga super chatted $20. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Jesus Christ.
And figured he was talking about Nicole Arbor, who was also widely hated on the YouTube platform at the time. Boogie posted a video expressing his sympathies for Matthew, and
it was called Dear Fat People. That's what it was called. It was called Dear Fat People, and it pissed me completely off. Oh, God.
also detailed abuse he claimed to have suffered.
My sister got taken out of her home because of the abuse she received. She was, I think, 13 or 14.
Pokagaga
Through the
super chatted $20. Fix the TTs.
Well, apparently they saw that one. They're like, oh shit, let's fix it real quick. We just have to catch up.
His character, Boogie, was funny. Through his more personal videos, he was...
Speedy Bird said, apart from Keem, Xylee, you were the first internet personality to block me. With love. Shy with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Shy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love you, Shy. Shy is one of the first people to really accept me here in this platform. One of the first ones to talk to. He's always been so supportive of me. Shy, you're awesome. I love you, dude. You're awesome. Poke Gaga, I've learned that sometimes when you throw enough money at a problem, it fixes the problem. True. True. Hell yeah. Now we are 12 out of 25. Let's go. God only knows when the TTS will play, but at least we know now it'll play. Maui for 20. 2016 makeover coming to you soon. Oh my God, Maui, you're wanting me to do that glam shit. Maui, I have a feeling you hate me. You say you love me, but I have a feeling you hate me because you want me to do some shit that I absolutely don't want to do. Zayzoot is excited. Oh my God, yes, so close to golf. Finally, let's go. All right, let's go.
Seen as thoughtful, introspective.
Thank you, by the way, guys. Thank you so much.
And a voice of reason amidst all the madness of 2016 YouTube drama. He was someone many looked to for a good take on unfolding situations, but as time passed, many began to feel as though this reasonable demeanor was a facade for someone with an extreme inability to take any criticism or stand up for any ideal. Thus begins the fall of Boogie2988.
Oh, here we go.
At this point in time, Boogie was the Mr. Rogers of YouTube, and antagonizing him was so unthinkable that low-tier God made a...
This don't get me started on low-tier God. That's another one that I may put up to see if y'all want to do like the rise and fall of low tier God or whatever. Because I know there's some good docs on him too. That's another time. That's another person that I want to do eventually. Yeah, fucking low tier God.
Video doing just that for almost 2 minutes straight. Precisely.
Oh, and people who are just coming in, I have a poll up on which doc that y'all would like to watch next. It's DSP or RTU. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit longer, and then we'll put up a goal for it to get done, and whenever the goal gets met, however long it takes, we'll do it. So I'm just letting y'all choose which one, because I can't figure out which one I want to do. So
to try and be controversial. As anti-fat phobia movements cropped up, his stature once again became a topic of discussion, and after a long time of just accepting it as a fact of life, Boogie spoke publicly about how he realized his obesity was actually a product of his mental issues not being properly dealt with, and that he wanted to improve by getting a gastric bypass surgery to lose weight. After the
fucking gastric bypass surgery. The shit does not work unless you change your lifestyle. I don't know how many people... Like, I know people who's been successful with gastric bypass, but I know way too many that they had the gastric bypass and it didn't work because they never changed their lifestyle. They thought that was the fix. You got to change your lifestyle. You have to put in the work too, you know? Morbid said I had gastric sleeve surgery. Did you? Yeah. And Hex had it too. Okay.
Point of the 2010s, anti-SJW channels in the skeptic community were at their peak of relevance, and their spats with feminists and other groups were becoming increasingly publicized in conventional media. One of these feminists was Anita Sarkeesian, one of the
Don't get me started. I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I'm going to sound like a woman hater. I'm going to sound like a internalized misogynist if I go there with that.
Main focuses of the online discussions for her belief that video games somehow encourage sexual violence. Though people online hated her, she had enough mainstream support to get herself a panel at VidCon. Another content creator on that same panel was Boogie, who was still seen as a good guy. During said panel, Sargon-of-Akkad and other skeptics decided to attend, sitting in the front row. Of course, conflict erupted when Anita noticed them, and it would soon become one of the biggest dramas of the year.
Boogie, I think we all know, is one of the nicest guys who there is on...
This asshole! Oh! God, it was so nice. It was so nice.
Gaga super chatted $20. I've learned that sometimes when you throw enough money at a problem, it fixes the problem.
Yeah, so now if you could actually catch up to when they actually send the donation, you could actually play it, that would be great. Thank you, TTS. Jesus. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. When Alex is around, make sure to hide all bricks. Hide all bricks. When I Am Alex is around, please, because he's a nasty mofo with one.
The entire of the website. There's not really a guy nicer than him.
This perspective was echoed across many videos from skeptic and commentary channels alike. Boogie himself eventually spoke on what happened, revealing he was extremely nervous during the panel, and that after his closing statement, which was pretty mild overall and tried to minimize the static...
chatted $20. 2016 makeover coming to you soon.
I feel like it's starting to catch up a little bit. I feel like it's starting to catch up a little bit. And yes, Poke Gaga, once again, Keem was right. Oh, yeah. No, he got away with it in, what was it? Wasn't it 2016? Wasn't it like 2016 when he got away with it? Like, the commentary community was like, oh my God, he fucking got away. I want to say it was 2016. And then years later, shit came out.
Perspective was echoed across many videos from skeptic and commentary channels alike. Boogie himself eventually spoke on what happened, revealing he was extremely nervous during the panel, and that after his closing statement, which was pretty mild overall and tried to minimize the static in the air, Anita came up to him and began berating him for saying his piece when she didn't have an opportunity to respond. This led audiences to criticize Anita, saying that she was an awful human being who had been mean to Boogie. Boogie then tried once again to de-escalate by saying that, though initially confrontational, she ended up having a reasonable conversation with him behind the scenes and they hashed things out respectfully. However, this attempt by him failed, as people noticed how uneasy he was while talking about it and began claiming that he was cowering away from being completely honest about the situation. This exposed an issue that would later become much more glaring: Boogie's fence sitting. Following the fallout of the Anita situation, Boogie's attempts at being a centrist...
Okay, it's not playing. Lunchbox, thank you. TTS got too drunk last night. It's got a hangover. You know what? It probably did. It probably did. All right, let me add that to it. Thank you. We are 14 out of 25 for the goth makeover. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I'm so excited to go buy makeup and watch a goddamn video on how to put on goth makeup. I'm so excited. Let me tell you. Do you see the excitement in my face? I'm so excited to do that. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what I'm hearing from Billy, too? Billy's like, oh, but you won't put on makeup for Rewind. So you know what I'm going to have to do, right? You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to end up doing this goth makeover. And so I can appease Billy, we're going to have to do some kind of goal where I do, like, I don't know, maybe some glam makeup or something. I don't know. Hate it. Hate it.
Who called out both sides was becoming more and more transparent, and people were seeing that he was interested exclusively in appearing to be the moderate good guy. Whenever he spoke about it, it was to say saccharine truisms about how making generalizations is bad, instead of addressing any element of the controversy directly. I get not talking about political things as to protect your brand, but why pitch in to say basically nothing? Or even worse, to say things you immediately contradict. Around this time, Boogie gets doxxed for the first time, which only goes to show what being in a 1-mile radius of any political community gets you, even if you try your hardest to offend no one. Another example of his fence sitting was a video he made about YouTuber Matthew Santoro plagiarizing lists from other websites, which he immediately took down when he noticed it wasn't having a good reception. On one hand, it's admirable to take a video down.
Oh, God, heck, you hate me! Heck, I thought we were cool, bro. I thought we were cool. Fuck! 15 out of 25, 10 more, and we got a goth makeover. And again, y'all gonna have to give me time because I'm gonna have to go and buy the fucking makeup to do this shit. Y'all fucking hate me, bro. Don't LOL I love you, Xylee. Do not LOL I love you. Okay? Thank you.
If you truly no longer stand by it. However, it seemed more that he was doing this to maintain his PR instead of, you know, actually changing his mind on the topic. This is just one of many examples of Boogie doing this. More recently, Boogie said that people who purposely misgender others
super chatted $20. TTS got too drunk last night. It's got a hangover.
It's starting to catch up. It's starting to catch up. That was less time than it was the first Poke Gaga one. So it's starting to catch up, bro. I swear it. It's starting to catch up. Are you going to be a cute goth girly or like goth like band Ghost does, for example? Okay, I don't know the band Ghost. Okay, so the goth makeup that I saw that I liked, it wasn't just like black and white on your face. It had a little bit of red in it. It was really cute. So I might try that. I don't know. I'm gonna look through more goth makeover one. I have to pre-watch the video because I need to know what to go get. You have to understand, I have never put any kind of makeup like overall on my face. I've never done that before. Never did that. I don't know what any of that shit is. Like the powder shit or the foundation shit. I don't know that shit. Bruh. The fuck I look like. I'm not a girl's girl. You know what I mean? In my heart, I'm a girl's girl, but like outwardly, I've never been a girl's girl. No, I don't know the band Ghost. I'm sorry, I don't. I feel like Xylee can make a full beat, bruh. No. Oh, no. Please, don't make me do it.
should get hit with a misdemeanor charge and even possibly jail time if it evolves into hate speech. Regardless of your opinion on this, after the tweet was met with negative responses, he pivoted to talking about how clips of his live stream were being taken out of context. As the negative reactions continued, he slowly buckled to public pressure, saying,
Okay, so this is when Boogie started becoming a lolcow. He started fighting with people about it on Twitter to the sense of like, kind of like a feel sorry for me type of shit. I personally think you are accidentally misgendering someone is a non-starter. If you purposely angrily do it, I think a slap on the wrist misdemeanor is well within order though. Hate speech, then go fuck yourself, lock them up.
Hate speech. Regardless of your opinion on this, after the tweet was met with negative responses, he pivoted to talking about how clips of his live stream were being taken out of context. As the negative reactions continued, he slowly buckled to public pressure, saying no one should go to jail because of the things they said, and he just had a bad take.
That's why. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is the beginning.
Example of him firing off without thinking twice beforehand was when he was trying to handle the Vox media scandal between Carlos Maza and Steven Crowder. Though it began with a tweet asking for examples of people who were hurt by demonetization, it quickly detoured into him deriding both Steven Crowder and Vox in a really haphazard way, which, once again, both sides disapproved of. I don't know how he doesn't notice that doing this doesn't actually work and just makes everyone even more sick of his shtick. I'm not sure if it's some kind of pathological compulsion or if he thinks this is a smart strategy, but it consistently concludes in him getting harangued by everyone online. As a means of countering this narrative, he attempted to embrace it with pride, saying that he wasn't a fence-sitter, but he was a reasonable moderate. While this approach did immediately save his credibility in the eyes of his audience, it didn't prevent users of subreddits, forums, and other sites dedicated to documenting erratic behavior from noticing it all and keeping tabs. What's crazy is that in the video where he talks about being a fence-sitter, he outright admits that he doesn't care about many of the issues that he's...
Look, I'm gonna be honest. With you. If you're gonna step into drama and actually give your take on drama, know the landscape in which you're going to be commentating on. You know what I mean? Like, for example, there are certain areas of YouTube I will not cover. Do I have opinions of them? Absolutely. Do I state those opinions? No. Why? Because I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with that part of YouTube. Because shit gets way too nasty in those parts. There's certain anti communities. There's like at least 4 anti-communities. I will not talk about them because I don't want to deal with their bullshit. It's not worth it. It's not worth my time. You know? Do I have opinions? Absolutely, I have opinions on them. But I keep my mouth shut. Because what's the point? How many different arcs has Boogie had? Well, Lunchback, you have to understand, he's been on the platform like almost 2 decades. He's practically been on the platform since it started. So, I mean, yeah, he's going to have a lot of arcs. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of arcs there.
Speaks on, which makes it all the more perplexing that he's still willing.
All right, Poke Gaga says TTS is stuck like a stepsis in a Jesus Christ. Like a stepsis in a washing machine. It will eventually... Jesus fucking... Sorry, I had to contribute once more before heading to work. Since iOS hates 20s. Okay, Gaga, thank you for the 20. I appreciate it. All right, that's one.
Poker Gaga super chatted $20. TTs is stuck like a stepsis in a washing machine.
It's almost caught
It will
up.
eventually come. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Sorry, had to contribute once more before heading to work, since iOS hates $20. Medley Sage of Winds super chatted $20. This is for Falgi because I know if he was here he would donate to the goal. Also love you Xylee, 100 emoji, bomb emoji, purple heart emoji.
Thank you, Medley. Okay, it's not going to do Hex because it's Australian, but I still counted it. Oops, one more for Xylee. I can't wait till after till you're after Aussie. Thank you. Okay, so that moved it up to 18 out of 25. The TTS has almost caught up. I am so happy. We just had to wake it up a little bit. You know what I mean? We are fixing it. Let's go. Thank you.
To. However grating it was to see, being a fence sitter was far from Boogie's only issue. Just as Boogie's image as the voice of reason began to fall apart, so did his marriage. In late December 2017, shortly after he got his gastric bypass surgery, he uploaded a video titled, "It's True, Wife and I Are Getting a Divorce. Here's What's Next for Us," where he goes into detail about how it went down. Based on the information given by Boogie in this video and other instances where he spoke out, it was an amicable separation, so much so that despite it already being in their plans, his wife waited until he fully recovered from the surgery. But things certainly weren't as friendly as they were made out to seem. Later on, Boogie himself admits that their divorce agreement included a non-disparage clause that he asked for, presumably to prevent her from saying negative things about him in a public space, which could damage his reputation. Now, in fairness,
Boogie, I feel like your reputation... Okay. I feel like this has been Boogie's problem his whole entire career until after the cancer arc. I think just recently, he's finally embraced it. But up until the cancer arc, I think Boogie's biggest problem was he overly cared on what the public thought. You know what I mean? To the point where it would make him flip-flop. It would make him go with what the cool kids were saying. You know, like he overly cared. Like, yes, optically you want to care how the audience views you, but you don't want to overly care because that's when you do the missteps. That's when you like in an obvious way, do things to make people happy. You know what I mean? So... yeah, that seems like an overall problem that he had.
Relationships are often messy and emotions can...
Dorian says, what is an anti-community? All right, Dorian, I'll give you an example. There used to be a community. They're pretty much defunct now. But there used to be a community against a YouTuber named Without a Crystal Ball. It started in Facebook, it started on Reddit, and then they ended up on YouTube. And... this whole community was against Katie Joy Paulson, a.k.a. Without a Crystal Ball. And they all focused on her, and they were so bad that it got to the point that she couldn't even sniffle because she had the sniffles, and they were saying she was on cocaine or she was doing this. Like, she couldn't fart to the left. They would get on her for not farting to the right. It was that fucking bad, right? Well, when it got to the point that the subject of Without a Crystal Ball was getting boring, they started eating at each other. And when they started eating at each other, you had a lot of bad things happening, like calling the authorities, doxing, shit like that. You know? And that was that I don't want to cover communities like that. Because you deal with a bunch of fucked up people. KT lady says they were as bad as she was. Actually, KT, they were worse. A lot of anti-communities, what they will do is they start off with, I guess, good intentions, calling out the bad things, and they end up becoming obsessed with that person. And then what they end up doing, they end up becoming worse than the very person that they started calling out. Their obsession literally turned them into that person, if not worse. You know? So, you know what? I don't care what anybody says, because look, y'all know me as a reality TV hoe. All right, I love me some reality TV, and I love the show Sister Wives. And you know what? Without a crystal ball does the work for me. When they were in between seasons, she does the work for me and looks at their Instagram, looks at everything that they do, so I get to keep up with them because of her. Fuck y'all, I still watch her for the Sister Wives content, okay? I don't care what anybody says. I watch her ass for the Sister Wives content. Shit, she keeps me up to date on what's going on with Sister Wives. I do not care. Thank you very much. Yes, Dorian. Yes, that sounds like the Onion could be. The anti-Os, same way. They started out as a good cause, but they ended up becoming just as bad, if not worse. Yep. Glock Shadow says, good morning, old lady. Good morning, Glock. How are you doing?
Come over reason for those involved. It's possible this was a reasonable cautionary measure to prevent any unnecessary reveal of information that isn't necessarily career-ending, but maybe embarrassing if it were out there. But on the other hand, considering she was barely even a public figure, it made many question why the contract was needed at all. Immediately after his divorce, he began dating a sugar baby. If you don't know what that is, it's when a man, usually a wealthy one, offers to...
Ladies and gentlemen, we're stepping into the sugar baby age. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding the sugar baby stage. Let's fucking go. Good morning, Lily. You know one thing I love about Lily? It doesn't matter what chat she steps in, everybody loves her. You are such a rock when it comes to like a supporter of all these channels. You are such a fucking rock. Everybody loves you, Lily. Everybody loves you for good reason. You're a good person.
Date a woman from lower economic rungs and showers her with gifts and whatnot in exchange for dinners and sex. Later on, he denied that this was the case and tried to beat around the facts that he did this, claiming their relationship was organic and totally not a sugar baby situation. We know these to be lies because there are images of his profile on Seeking.com, a website dedicated to sugar babies and their sugar daddies, respectively. Eventually, he did come clean through an alt account of his on his own subreddit. About half a year after the divorce had been filed, the person he was dating, Lucy Fox, came out with a video.
Oh, okay. I watched this video. This exact video right here. I watched it on my channel. And it was during, I think, the crypto scam shit or during the cancer arc. Actually, they were about the same time. The one guy from the podcast, I can't remember the podcast name, he kept mentioning her. I found the video and we watched it. That video ain't shit. Honestly, that video, I watched it. I hated Boogie at the time. Even I watched it and was like, bruh, what was the point in making this video? Honestly, it sounds like you just had a bad relationship. That doesn't mean abuse. What are you doing here, girl? This video here, shit. That video won't shit, to be honest.
Video called it The Truth, which was promptly shared on Boogie's subreddit, and though the original is no longer up, mirrors of it are pretty easy to find. In it, she claims that Boogie was verbally abusive to her whenever she tried to be independent in any way. Besides that, apparently Boogie didn't even hold up his end of the arrangement. Not only was he failing to pay her for her services, he was keeping her from doing any kind of work, though it seems this wasn't out of jealousy, but because he wanted a caretaker around him at all times so he could keep complaining about his life and victimizing himself to her. When this information became public, Boogie went on Drama Alert to defend himself, and since him and Keem were good buds at the time, Boogie had an easy time controlling the narrative about what happened and claiming that Lucy was his girlfriend and a gold digger, as opposed to being an unpaid sugar baby. He went pretty much unchecked by Keemstar, who tried to take a more neutral approach. But thankfully, at this point, people were already realizing that Boogie was the definition of an unreliable narrator.
She said the only way she can make money is if she's at home doing her cam girl stuff, right? And that you wouldn't like let her leave the house. Is that true?
But she didn't live here. Like she lives at home, where she has her own home.
But Boogie pretending to not have hired a sugar baby is extremely lightweight compared to his other offenses in the cap department. What other offenses, you might ask? Well, given that Boogie lied about this, people began digging through his more serious stories to try and find what else he may be lying about.
That's why you don't want to lie. Listen, now, some people take it that far if you just change your mind about something. You're allowed to change your mind about shit. You're allowed to have a take like 3 years ago and go, you know what? I changed my mind. Because this happened, XYZ happened, and you know what? Yeah, I changed my mind on it. You're allowed to do that. But don't outright lie about shit, bro. Because once you lie, they will literally literally try to dig up everything on you. Everything.
Given he had always been very vocal about his rough childhood, some began comparing his multiple accounts of the abuse he had suffered at the hands of his parents. We can start with his mother. Despite occasionally praising her as a strong single woman who raised 3 children and took care of her invalid husband, in a Reddit comment he says the following: I've never really gone into detail. Both my father and my mother were sexual abusers who were both sexually abusive to me, along with one other family member who's still alive, so I don't feel comfortable calling them out directly. So I'll wait until one of us are dead. I've discussed it mostly on live stream and only a little bit in videos. Sorry that I'm not comfortable going into further details. Later on, while streaming, he specifies that the sexual abuse meant molestation, but not rape.
How do I respond? My mother never raped me. My mother did molest me. She never, like, forced me to have sex with her, but she did molest me. That's a simple thing. I don't know why people are like that. What the heck?
In another, he claims his dad did rape him. In this tweet, he also claims to have been raped as a kid and
I was taped at... Oh. Okay. It made me who I am. Good? No. Do I like who I am? Yes. Some good came out of my... Boogie, what the fuck are you doing? Really, bro? Oh, God. I like the Boogie now. Let's put it this way. I like the Boogie now. The Boogie before frustrates the fuck out of me. Completely frustrates the fuck out of me. But the Boogie now, I love and adore. I love and adore the Boogie now. The Boogie then frustrates the fuck out of me.
notwithstanding, claims that some good came of it, whatever the hell that means. Then in another tweet, he reiterates that he...
Hold on 1 second. I gotta blow my nose. I will be right back. Hold on. Just give me a second. I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I had to blow my nose. Whew. All right, let's go back a little bit and
notwithstanding, claims that some good came of it, whatever the hell that means. Then in another tweet, he reiterates that he had indeed been raped and that he'd forgiven his rapist, which, if we're to follow the things he said so far, would be his dad, since he claimed in a tweet that his mother had never raped him. He goes as far as saying that his sister was molested by their dad, followed by the claim that his sister was gang raped in foster care. However, in a clip of his stream, he specifically says that his parents, plural, had raped him. In another of his Reddit essays, he follows the claims that he'd been raped with stories about how his mother stabbed him, his sister was almost beaten to death, his dad punching him, among other things.
this is why people had a problem with Boogie. This is exactly why people had a problem with Boogie. He would go back and forth on... Oh, Jesus Christ. This is so frustrating. Okay, Gaga says, Buff, I always hated the teacher would step away and come back before we act out. Yes, believe me, I came back and saw what the fuck Buff said in the chat. Buff wants to act like a little asshole.
Strange because, while sometimes he says things that range from suggesting to outright affirming that being raped was a common occurrence for him during his childhood, in other instances he claims it was just once. Under normal circumstances, we don't have any reason to doubt or excessively scrutinize stories of this caliber. But at this point, Boogie was raising a few eyebrows with his increasingly extreme retellings. Eventually, a more complete and precise statement of the nature of his abuse was made to Reddit. I was molested by an older sibling, female at a young age. I remember very little of it, but enough to know that this wasn't just further stuff related to my Munchausen syndrome that my mother was famous for. Certainly, inappropriate contact was made between me and my older sister several times when I was 3 to 4. Beyond that, my mother insisted something happened with another family member. I have no personal recollection of that, so I've always presumed that my mother was lying. But as I get older and more evidence rises to the top, the more I believe there is truth in it. What's even more complicated is that my relationship with my mother was certainly inappropriate, and those details I will take to my grave. His sister, who is on Twitter, denied that this took place, while Boogie doubled down on saying that she raped him. Now, keep in mind, before you...
What? Oh, God damn it, Boogie. God damn it.
doubt these claims, it's not uncommon for victims of abuse to be confused about what exactly they suffered since the memories are so traumatic. But to misremember and misspeak as extensively as Boogie did led many to believe that he brought his abuse up as a way to garner sympathy whenever he felt the need for validation.
Okay, that is true, because now we also have to think about it this, right? People respond to trauma differently, all right? Some people remember minute details. Like, they'll remember the smell. They'll remember every little piece of it. And some people, what trauma does to them, it makes it foggy and hazy for them. And they only remember specific things, you know, or specific things will come to them or something like that, right? Some people, trauma makes them completely forget that it ever happened. Like their brain just shuts off and that time period is gone completely. Trauma, people don't respond to trauma the exact same way. You know, it's like mourning somebody. You know, when you have someone who passes away, you know, people mourn differently. Some get sad, some get angry, some throw a party and want to remember their life. So, just saying, just throwing it out there.
Some thought he was changing his story when it felt more convenient to get more sympathy. Now, I would never go out and say that he lied about being abused in his childhood. For all of that to be lies would be genuinely reality breaking. But there's a reason why many question his reliability as a narrator. In this and many other cases, he couldn't get his story straight. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his documented contradictions or barrage of backtracks and word redefinitions. Remember a story about how we used to do web design for seedy websites? Well, that's what is typically called a massive euphemism. The truth of the matter is, Boogie ran porn sites, and not just in the distant past, but well into the late 2000s, when he'd already begun doing YouTube. In these sites, Evil Squared and cfporn.com to name a couple, Boogie advertised for all kinds of adult content. He also used his online space to give his thoughts on things, as he would later do in his vlogs. One recurring theme was nothing other than his fleshlights, and I quote, "I think personally my fleshlight is a bit better than being with a woman in some ways. No offense, I figured I'd list the reasons. 1, it's tighter. 2, it sucks without complaining. 3, it swallows at least as deep as it can go. 4, when you're done you can lock it in a dark place and it can't complain. 5, no need to reciprocate, but ultimately I just flat out think it feels different, and in some ways better than the real thing. Honestly, there's nothing like it. It's like the first time you pop Mary Lou's cherry at 18, or sinking it into your girl's butt for the first time. Not too tight, but oh so right."
What? I did not need to hear any of that, okay? And to know that he fucking wrote Boogie. Ew. Ew. That traumatized me. That traumatized me. I'm sorry. Nah. This is my trauma response to that bullshit. What the fuck, Boogie? See, Boogie be wild and that had to be a troll. It was something. Ugh. Boogie. Gross. Spray bottle. Spray bottle. Spray bottle. Ugh.
For your safety and mental health, no image will be attached of the thing he's talking about, but rest assured, it's about as graceful as you can imagine. Another gem from Evil Squared is this anime villain tier self-description from Boogie. The fact that I'm crazy is no stranger to the good staff at Evil Squared, nor is it a strange concept to anyone that reads this site or has viewed my videos. I am, for all intents and purposes, batshit crazy. The past week or so has been different for me. This next week will be doubly so. Out into the real world, looking for real work at a real workplace, hopefully landing a job this week. I'm excited. At the same time, these normal activities remind me exactly how insane I am. I wonder if the people interviewing me know what's going on under the surface. While I'm applying for a job, entering your data, or taking your orders, or speaking to your customers, do you know that during the previous weekend, we all got together and smoked weed, drank, and fucked? Does she know how many orgies I've been to? Or arranged? Does she know how many girls I've watched fuck? Or fuck myself? Does she know that I'm a monster? Does she know that I have internet sites that are so disorienting that it would make Satan blush? Does she know that I film more sex than she's likely to have had? On YouTube, Boogie was wholesome.
Sir. What the fuck is this arc we're on right now? What the fuck is this shit? Deep down inside, I want to skip this part. This is killing my soul. Yeah, apparently, Sloth. Apparently, this is his 50 Shades era. It's killing me.
And reserved. Now, a lot of people are different behind the scenes than they are in their YouTube videos, and I wouldn't blame them, but it's hard to even believe that this is the same person as the one in the YouTube videos. Boogie2988 really wasn't him. It's now 2018, and while he's past his peak, Boogie still has some footing in the YouTube community, but it's at this time that money became a big talking point across his various platforms, along with a few other sob stories at the
Is Boogie in the Discord? Is he awake typing in the Discord? Is he? We need to find out if Boogie is awake and typing in the Discord. Because I have questions for Mr. Boogie. I want to know more about his Fleshlight review. Because I am concerned. Sir. Boogie. The fuck was that?
Time, Boogie often mentioned his financial situation with an air of despair or concern. For example, in this tweet, he acts as if the money that he'll be earning in the next year will be...
If I knew I could do this job another 20 years, I wouldn't worry about it, but I will be surprised if I'm still able to do this this time next year. Whatever I earn in the next 12 months is going to be it. It's back to working retail. So, of course, I want to earn some savings. This was in December 2018.
His entire savings, since, as he prophesizes, his career is soon to be over and he'll go back to working retail. And this would be a very scary prospect, but it doesn't really add up. Mind you, at this point, he's...
Yeah, I'm gonna get a spray bottle emoji. Absolutely, because apparently we need one on this fucking channel.
He's been successful on YouTube for a decade and has over 4 million subscribers and owns his own home. He may have some more savings if not for his Funko Pop video game and toy collection, but I digress. In his many videos centered around promoting his Patreon, he says the donations are contributing towards his family's peace of mind. Again, I'm the last person in line to judge someone for wanting to cash in, but it is a little annoying when people cash in while acting like they're not doing it and are just making enough to survive. In reality, Boogie himself admitted that he made 6 figures yearly in his upper middle class. So at the time, he definitely wasn't in line to get a job at Target anytime soon. But what really does it is the fact that he...
See, that's that Shane Dawson bullshit. Shane Dawson did the exact same thing. Shane Dawson ran around like he was fucking poor. He ran around that, you know, he didn't make money off of YouTube. He didn't have this much money. He this, he that. He even went on fucking Mom's Basement and was talking to Banks and Keemstar about how much money he didn't make. The motherfucker was rich. But he literally had I believed him. And this was before I got into commentary and I used common sense, okay? This was before I gained some common sense. I believed him. Shane did the exact same thing. You know? Oh, yeah, but I didn't know when we were going to do this, Pappy. I thought maybe I wasn't going to be able to do this till 4 a.m., so I didn't get a hold of Boogie. I'm going to be honest. And then after how Boogie was Friday and that he lost his friend, I didn't want to ask him to come on. I'm going to be honest with you, Pappy. He was pretty sad, Thursday? And then after what he said on live on Friday, I didn't want to bother him. You know, he was pretty down. So that's why he's not here. I didn't want to bother him. He's had a rough week. So, but at the same time, I had a goal that I set up and I made sure to do the goal with you. You know, I'm not gonna scam y'all. You know what I mean? So that's why. I completely understand it was a horrible thing. Yeah, exactly. So that's why he's not here.
Bought the same overpriced shit box that every mouth breather online influencer also buys, a Tesla. Yes, the madman actually did it. To make matters worse, he excused his decision to do so by saying that, despite AdSense paying him poorly, which he's probably lying about, his sponsors pay well and he can easily afford a Tesla. A week later, however, he was back to portraying his impoverished persona, acting like he bought a car he couldn't afford and regretted it. Later.
Okay, wait a minute, because we watched it. When he went on with Caleb Hammer, I think his name is it Caleb Hammer? The finance guy, he never bought the Tesla. He never actually bought the Tesla. He was trolling.
When people started throwing this at him when he tried to play poor again, he would simply pretend like he never said he bought it. Can you believe the gall you need to have to do that when you know people can print the things you say online and keep track of them? Yet another topic he's blatantly and consistently lied about is his weight. For example, during a 30-day clean eating challenge he did to lose weight, about halfway into it, he's seen eating fried foods and candy. In a stream clip, he claims this is due to the fact in the event he was attending, no healthy food was available, which most certainly was a lie. Seriously, in the late 2010s with insane amounts of money and a phone with internet connection, you can't figure out how to get yourself food that isn't sugar-coated or deep fried, and if there really is nothing else, you can just eat after, or leave and come back. In late 2018, he posted an image of his scale showing that he was at 350 pounds. Then in January of 2019, he claimed that he's now hitting 350, and this is somehow an improvement. Either he somehow faked the scale's numbers in 2018, or he's lying to his audience in January, acting like he's still improving and losing weight. Keep in mind at this point, his YouTube earnings already paid for a weight loss surgery, and his fans are cheering him on the whole time. Why?
Well, look at Boogie now. Look at Boogie here, and think of how he is on live now. He's lost so much fucking weight. He's lost so much fucking weight. Even in the beginning of Locale Live versus how he is now, he's lost so much fucking weight. RG Gamer says no healthy food available. LMAO. It's often healthier to eat healthy than it is to go to Arby's. Fast food just keeps getting worse. I think it depends on where you live, RG. To be honest, if you're not saying he is, because where he lives, yeah, it's possibly cheaper. But like if you live in like the city, like literal city where people don't even need cars, they walk everywhere, it's actually cheaper to eat the fast food and shit like that because the vegetables are very expensive because it's not grown right there, you know? It depends on where you live. At least in the United States, it depends on where you live, whether it's cheaper or not. Yeah, oh my God. The cost of a God bless it chicken quesadilla at Taco Bell is honestly, somebody needs to be put in jail, whoever came up with that price. Because it is absolutely ridiculous how much a damn chicken quesadilla. I used to work at Taco Bell. I know what they put in the fucking quesadillas. There's no fucking way it should be like $8. No fucking way at all, bruh. I used to work there. It is not $8 worth of fucking food. It's retarded. Damn, $8 for a damn chicken quesadilla. Oh, RG Gamer, we own our own farm, so it doesn't. See, that totally different. Absolutely, RG. I get it. I get it. That's how my husband was raised. My husband was raised on a farm.
Even announce this weight loss journey if you're not going to follow through or even attempt. What's noticeable is that he could just keep these things private. He never even had to announce his weight loss journey. Instead, he deliberately made it public for everyone to see, only to lie about it for what seems like no reason. In countless different instances, he can be seen drinking things like milkshakes and sodas despite having sworn these things off. While he occasionally admits to the outright
Boogie ain't never given up Mountain Dew, y'all. Boogie ain't never given up Mountain Dew. I don't know, like, that's like saying I'm gonna give up Mountain Dew. I ain't never gonna give up Mountain Dew. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. You'll be taking the Mountain Dew out of my cold, dead hand. I'm gonna die with a fucking can of Diet Mountain Dew in my hand. What do you mean?
failed to eat like he was supposed to in order to lose weight. He also often says that eating less makes him literally suicidal, and he has no intention of actually diminishing it to any significant degree. In between the multiple glasses of soda per meal, pizzas, and cookies, it's evident that Boogie doesn't care as much about fixing his diet as he pretends to for inspirational videos on YouTube. A fitness YouTuber even tried to help him lose weight, only for Boogie to make snide comments on Reddit about how he's only after his clout and money.
Oh, he's got pretty eyes.
With more excuses about how being 350 pounds is where he's comfortable at and statistically where he's meant to be, whatever that's supposed to mean.
And I've authenticated it, so I'm going to read from it, and it goes like this. So a ton of people link me to the video created by Everyday Day Fitness. I'll even link it here. Much appreciated, Boogie. Videos like this are not helpful. They are harmful.
In a clip from a later stream, he outright tells the people concerned about his weight to go fuck themselves, and that since it's his body, it's his business, as if he hasn't made project.
I'm not 400 pounds, Allie. Yeah, Stan, I used to be 300, over 300. I used to be... God, where am I at now? So... I used to be double the size that I am now. Yeah, I guess about double the size that I am now. I've literally lost half my weight overall. Yeah. Dylan's like, Buff and Xylee are fat survivors. We survived. You know what made me lose weight? Diabetes. Diabetes got my ass, bruh. When was that? At my highest, I was in my 20s. No. I'm lying to you. Hold on. I gotta think time what. I was late 20s, early 30s at my highest. And then around 40 is when I noticed I was like losing weight. Like I was going down sizes, right? And I was like, what is going on? And I was scared. I thought I had cancer or something. And so then I went to the doctor and they said, you're diabetic. So then I started eating how I was supposed to eat for diabetes. and basically, which is nothing at all. And then the last little bit of weight has been Ozempic, because they put me on Ozempic because of diabetes, because it is literally a diabetic medicine. And there we go. So yeah.
Upon project and pity post upon pity post, trying to get some community support for his weight loss plight, only to completely dump it and act like he never wanted to do it in the first place. It's one thing to struggle with weight issues, but Boogie struggles with treating the stragglers who, for whatever miraculous reason, still give him attention and money in pursuit of his weight loss. In December of 2019, Boogie began making a number of accusations about a subreddit to people via Twitter DMs, painting them as swatters and dangerous people who are trying to destroy his livelihood and physically harm him. He said, "Get away from that hive mind. They are sad, scary, dangerous people. They have swatted me, attempted to destroy my livelihood. They bombard my fans and sponsors with hatred. They have done awful, terrible things. They lie to you and
Stay out of people's DMs, Boogie. Stay out of people's DMs. Stay out of the DMs. They will leak.
tell you that they want the best, but then do the worst. If they wanted the best, they'd leave me alone. Trust me. I've been swatted twice this month already. They let her bomb 2 sponsors already. They contacted a friend of mine on Facebook and tried to convince her to stop being my friend because she was a female and I am a rapist. With tales that tall and claims that dramatic, it piqued people's interest. After all, Boogie already had a reputation for exaggerating things at this point. The subreddit in question was r/SamandTolkey, regarded today by many Redditors as an invaluable archive for all sorts of shady shit various e-celebs have gotten up to over the years. The sub acted as a sort of Kiwi Farms on Reddit, documenting internet drama for all. One of the site's biggest threads was the Boogie criticism.
No, I've never had a surgery at all. Okay, listen. This DSP and RTU poll is 50-50. I need y'all to break this 50-50. Holy shit. All right. I'm going to end the poll. What's the poll say? All right. I'm going to roll this poll again. At 200 votes? At 200 votes, I'm going to end it. And whoever wins, I don't care if it's by 1%. Okay? I don't care if it's by 1%. We are going 200 votes. Okay? Because I need y'all to decide who you want. All right, ready? Get set. Go. God damn it. 200 votes and we'll end it.
A mega thread titled "The Hidden Truth Boogie Doesn't Want You to Know." Within this thread, they detailed his strange blogs we read earlier, interactions with his ex-wife, his alleged sugar babies Lucy Fox and the Grave Ghoul, and many other accusations. They point out his association with Kid Behind a Camera, who this thread calls a known child abuser.
Boogie2988 just gave the least hard-hitting interview I've ever seen in my life. He glossed over abuse, allowed Michael, aka Kid Behind a Camera, to make excuses for himself and deflect from the questions that were being asked of him, and even coach Michael into making himself look like a better person.
Now, to keep things fair, this entire thread does frame some lesser or honestly negligible defenses in the work.
Oh, I think this is the thread that Boogie told me about. I think this is the thread that Boogie told me about. Because Boogie told me there was a thread about him that shows everything.
Worst light possible. That being said, I think the key takeaway from this is that regardless of the less hard-hitting criticisms, the Boogie on YouTube was hardly aligned with the Boogie portrayed in that thread. He was a completely different person away from the camera. It wasn't even close to who he let on he was in his 10-minute rant.
Okay, y'all are taking too long with this damn thing. Get me to 100 votes and I'll end it. 100 votes and I will end it. We're at 80 right now.
But regardless of that criticism, Boogie was now claiming that his subreddit and its users had swatted him, not once, but twice in 1 month. Curious as to the validity of these claims, one of the people who runs the subreddit by the name of Haberdasher A went through all the moderation logs for the month of December to see if he could find any evidence of the claims that this subreddit was involved, but to no avail. When he asked for any evidence of Boogie's claims of swatting, his story did what it always does when pressed for veracity. It started to change, with him now claiming he didn't know who in particular had swatted him, while still insisting that it did happen. Obviously, I have no idea of knowing who swatted me.
Okay, first of all, if you get swatted, you don't talk about it, all right? The only time you talk about getting swatted is if it happened on air. Like while you were live streaming, you can't help but not talk about it because the people see it, all right? But if you get swatted, you don't talk about it. You don't acknowledge it. You definitely don't put it out there for people to feel sorry for you. You know? You don't want to do it. 105 votes, I'm in it. All right, we're doing RTU then. All right, so being that it's RTU and, you know, it's RTU. Okay, we're going to put that there. We're going to open this back up. It's RTU, so we're just going to make it 100 because it's RTU. Do we really care? And we're going to change this to... There we go. There we go. Put that there. All right, there we go. Now we have it settled. It's RTU. Shit. And then what we'll do is we'll do DSP after RTU. Meaden says falsified vote. Stop the vote. we'll do DSP after we do RTU.
And never said I did, just said I got swatted twice last month. Once when I was away at the Game Awards and another over Christmas break. This is true. 2 times cops came out with a partner and an ambulance. Seeing as Steven has still failed to provide any actual evidence for the things he was saying, Haberdasher decided to look into Boogie's local police station's publicly available logs to see if they'd ever been to his house. Fayetteville Police Department.
Rastoff is thick. I've already explained it, but you might not have been here. I didn't ask Boogie because he's had a really hard week with his friend passing away, and then how he talked on Friday, with how he talked on Locale Live on Friday. I didn't want to bother him with asking him to come on. I want him to have his weekend off, and I know they're streaming tonight, but I didn't feel comfortable asking him to come on to watch, you know, his epic bullshit online when he said what he said Friday. So that's why he's not here. I didn't ask him because I didn't feel comfortable asking him, being that he had such a hard week, you know? So that's why he's not here. Yeah, no, it's okay. Rastoff is thick. I love your name, by the way. I love your fucking name. But yeah, that's why.
Department's public dispatch logs showed that no officers were sent to Boogie's place of residence in the entire month of December. When they confronted Steven with this information, he claimed that he had made an arrangement with the Fayetteville Police Department to purge the dispatch records after a welfare check in July of 2019. I think it should be clear to anyone with half a brain that this was another lie and that Steven is just shooting himself in the foot trying to cover up a lie with another lie. And if that wasn't enough, the Fayetteville Police had dispatch logs of a welfare check in November 2019.
A welfare check is not a swatting. There is a difference between a welfare check and a swatting. Huge difference. A welfare check is maybe a couple of officers. A swatting is like, they bust down your door and shit. Like, that's a swatting, okay? A welfare check is a couple of officers going, are you okay? Is everything okay here? Y'all doing all right? You know, that's a welfare check. That's not a swatting. There's a big difference. And people who don't know the difference are retarded. Just saying.
4 months after Boogie had claimed that they
people still have died on welfare checks, so it's still weaponized. It's still weaponized law enforcement. I do agree, but it is not a swatting. There is a huge difference in a swatting and a welfare check, especially on the calls. All right, with a wellness check. A wellness check is like, go check out this person. I think they may harm themselves or whatever. A swatting, normally what they do is they're calling like they are the person and they're acting like they have somebody held hostage, or like there is a hostage-like situation going on, or something diabolical is happening in the sense of you need to go and take care of this person in a bad way. You know what I mean? There's a big difference in the calls. Yeah.
He stopped keeping records of welfare checks on him. When he was informed of this, Boogie responded by saying that the police had made a mistake and that he didn't know why there would be a record. It should be noted that the state where Boogie lives, Arkansas, has state law that requires that records be kept of all dispatches, so even if he tried to get such an arrangement with the police, he wouldn't be able to. It's against the law. Right. Did Boogie2988 get the governor's permission? When asked via email, Fayetteville Police stated that under no circumstances would they not have a dispatch record of a visit.
Thank you for your inquiry. No records have ever purged from our system. There has never been nor ever will be an understanding with police or dispatch to omit calls from public records. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Please provide name, address, date of birth, if possible, of the individual and location you are inquiring. We will be happy to provide any public information. I got the hiccups. I apologize.
To someone's residence. For Boogie to not be lying about the users of the subreddit in this situation, the only possible explanation is that the police station doesn't follow the law about police dispatches, lies via emails, and has a secret deal with Boogie to not make record of welfare checks to his house so that internet trolls will not be able to bother him on Twitter anymore. Not only that, but Boogie, in all of his infinite wisdom, would have to leak the news of this secret deal with the police in which he would be implicating himself. And
he couldn't have the deal with the police. It would literally be against the law for them to purge anything. I mean, it's just a simple fact. You know? And Boogie's not that important. He's not like the president of the United States. It wouldn't be like an FBI cover-up or something stupid like that. You know what I mean? It's Boogie. They're not going to purge the fucking system for Boogie. That makes no goddamn sense, bro.
In order to prove that he was telling the truth. You see how these things don't quite add up? And it's such an idiotic thing to lie about. Once again, he made completely unnecessary claims that he did not need to.
Truth Bomb said I had the SWAT team at my door twice in 1 month and a welfare check. I never publicly acknowledged it and it stopped. Yeah, you don't acknowledge that shit. I mean, now if you're live streaming and all of a sudden a cop has a gun pointed at you or whatever, okay, you kind of have to acknowledge it then because it's right there in front of everybody. But besides that, yeah, you don't acknowledge them. That's the whole point of them doing it. They want the acknowledgement that it worked.
When he could have just ignored the sub altogether, but I guess the craving to make yourself out to be a victim is too hard to resist. After being caught with this mountain of evidence against him that pretty much proved that he had been lying, he finally admitted to lying about the whole thing. But of course, he couldn't do it the right way and be honest that he had been, lying, because if he did that, then he has to admit that he did something wrong. And not in a disingenuous way, in a way that would show some actual humility and maturity. Basic human being things. Instead, his statement was that all of this had been part of...
Yeah, that's the thing. Boogie gets in it. Up until recently, Boogie was constantly getting in his own way because once you tell that lie, then you have to tell the lie to cover the lie. Then you have to tell the lie to cover the lie to cover the lie. And it becomes a vicious fucking cycle. If you lied, then just say you fucking lied and just not go through the bullshit. You know what I mean? Just say you lied. Say you were just being fucking stupid and you wanted people to feel sorry for you and you fucking lied. That's the easiest thing to do. You go around it the hard way, people are going to make your life fucking miserable. You know? My way, it's so much entertainment, true. Yeah. Listen, it keeps food in our mouths, right? Just saying.
An elaborate master plan to bait his critics into thinking that he was lying and go after him. He claims that he intentionally
Mazer 1123 super chatted $20. I chimed in with a haven't you Ziley's ever heard of, closing the goddamned door no, smiley face emoji.
The TTS is fixed! The TTS is fixed! Holy shit! Holy shit, the TTS is fixed! Mazer, thank you for the 20. God damn it, now I gotta add to it. Fuck. Not happy. Not happy. I mean, I'm happy that the TTS is now fixed, but I'm not happy because, god damn it, we're only 6 away. Fuck my life. Fuck my life, bro. Thank you, Mazer. I appreciate it. Xylie's going through a range of emotions. My life is a range of emotions, especially my life here in the LCU is a range of fucking emotions. Every day, I go through every fucking emotion imaginable in this fucking universe. Yes, we're only 6 away before I have to do fucking goth makeup. I'm not happy about it either. Yeah, apathetic gamer. Xylee celebrating the TTS is fixed, and then dread envelopes her body, and she realized she's closer to God. Xylee, it's true though. Fuck.
falsely accused his critics and his local police department of committing a federal crime for fun. Let's see what the master manipulator wannabe had to say. So I always have a bunch of people tweeting at me for attention ever since I talked to one critic this summer. So I took advantage of that and slipped into DMs a few weeks back and filled one guy with misinformation I knew he would leak mixed with the truth. I'm a terrible liar and reading it back is so cringe. Claimed I dated a 43-year-old woman for almost a year. Said I was writing a book, half true, and all kinds.
Heck, you hate me. It's official. Wait, let me go back here. Okay. Heck hates me, everybody. Heck fucking hates me. Yep. He hates me. It's official. God damn it, Lunchbox!
Lunchbox super chatted $20. Oops. Grimacing face emoji. This was a complete accident. My bad, Xylee.
How about that for your accident? This is a 1 for you, Lunchbox. This, you know what? No. Fuck you. You deserve full screen for this. This is a 1. Wait, let me fix this now that we have this. Hold on. Let me fix this before I cuss you out. All right, there we go. This is a 1 for you, Lunchbox. This is a 1 for you. Right here. 1 for you. You're a dick. All right.
The squad's favorite disaster super chatted $20. Xylee, I think you'll look absolutely fantastic when you done goth makeover.
You people fucking hate me. You people fucking hate me. I hate all of you. I want you to know that. It's a deep-seated, rooted hate for every single one of you. Yep, we're 22 out of 25. 3 more. And I have to go and figure out which makeup look I'm going to do, and then I have to go and buy the fucking makeup. I'm so excited, let me tell you. Ugh. I hate all of you. Maui, you shut up. Just shut up, Maui.
Harlequin Poker super chatted $19.99. What this button do?
Harlequin, you are one of mine. What are you doing? I'm taking your fucking wrench away. Bitch, you're not going to have a fucking wrench when I'm done. You are not going to have a motherfucking wrench when I'm done. God fucking damn it, bro.
Rum for breakfast super chatted $20. It would be rude for me to have suggested this and not contribute, and as a member of Reaper's docket team I would hate to be rude. Here's my part. I know this is what Xylee would want me to do.
I'm going to kick you off the docket team. Fuck my life, bro.
Jose Olalda super chatted $19.99. No! Index pointing at the viewer emoji, smiley face emoji, index pointing at the viewer emoji, smiley face emoji, index pointing at the viewer emoji, smiley face emoji, goth Xylee time. The squad's favorite disaster super chatted $20. I just realized. Is it a full makeover, clothes included? Or just makeup?
Okay, it's just the makeup, but I was gonna get a top that kind of will go with it, all right? Whether it's like something Nightmare Before Christmas or something, but I'll be wearing something that'll go with it. You know, I ain't doing no sexy goth look or nothing, but I'll do the fucking makeup. God fucking damn it. Fuck, I gotta go to Walmart when this is done. Fuck my life, bro. I gotta figure out what I hate all of you. I am so mad right now. Yeah, I guess I'll have to do something with I don't know what I'm gonna do with the hair. Oh, I don't know. You gotta do a goth K-pop dance? Okay, bitch, we ain't going that fucking far, okay? I'm gonna sit my fat ass right here in this fucking chair and do it. I ain't doing no goddamn wig either, okay? No, I ain't doing no damn sexy goth. No. I'm too old for that shit. Shave the hair off. Lunchbox, shut the fuck up. No. No dance, no wig. It was for
Mazer
makeup.
1123 super chatted $20. Xylee, is your heart in Ohio? Was it not your intention to brag? But do you have him where you want him right now?
Mazer, what the fuck are you talking about? What does all that mean? Okay, can somebody reply to Mazer's super chat and tell me what that means? I don't understand what that means. Oh, that's Paramore? Oh, well, fuck you, Mazer. Seth Looks, thank you for being a member for 3 months. By the way, thank you, Mazer. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody else who gave 20s to make my life hell. Seth Looks says, as you do the makeup, keep asking yourself, what would the goth bad boy King Cobra at JFS do? True. Oh, excuse me. Okay, well, I guess I have to keep the counter going. Harley Quinn just yelled at me. All right, here we go. 29 out of 25. There we go. Okay, are you happy, Harley Quinn? Are you fucking happy now? Are you happy, bitch? Yes, Poke Gaga, we hit the fucking goal. Fuck, I don't know what makeup to buy. Fuck. Okay, all right, I have a question. Do I have to do this tomorrow or can I do it the next day? Because I have to find a video and write down what makeup I need to go buy, and then I have to go buy the makeup. Are y'all expecting me to do this tomorrow? Oh, fuck y'all. I ain't going to no damn Hot Topic. What the fuck I look like? All right, I'll do it tomorrow then. All right, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll just have to. I found a couple of videos. There was one really pretty one where she had like red right here. It was really cute. So I think I might go for that one. So okay, here's the thing. I'm not spending a lot on this because this is going to be makeup I'm not going to use after I do this. Oh, we are saying the day after tomorrow. Okay. Fuck it. I'm going to ask y'all. Because I have to go buy I have to find the video and go buy this shit. All right, what day? Tomorrow or Tuesday? And start poll. There we go. All right, and whatever y'all say, I'll do it. Either way, doesn't matter to me. Whatever day y'all say, I'll do it. I did find that one look I might do. The day after tomorrow starts at 4 a.m., right? Yes. Remember, Tuesday I start at 4 a.m. So y'all figure out what day I do it, and whatever y'all come up with is what I'll do. So, all right, let's go.
Police department of committing a federal crime for fun. Let's see what the master manipulator wannabe had to say. So I always have a bunch of people tweeting at me for attention ever since I talked to one critic this summer. So I took advantage of that and slipped into DMs a few weeks back and filled one guy with misinformation I knew he would leak, mixed with the truth. I'm a terrible liar and reading it back is so cringe. Claimed I dated a 43-year-old woman for almost a year. Said I was writing a book, half true, and all kinds of other stuff. Was hoping it would keep them busy. It sure did. It was like they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls. One of the things I said was that I got 2 visits from the cops in December. Now that's not so much of a lie because I got maybe 4 visits last year. I just shifted the dates around. Had no clue they would latch onto that one like they did, though. To prove me wrong, they
Boogie, how could you not know they wouldn't latch onto that? Obviously they would. I feel like Boogie didn't understand A-loggers back then. Because A-loggers will fucking attach to every word out of your fucking mouth and try to break it down and try to find facts to either go with what they're saying or go with what you're saying. Xylee Ultra has to make it the same day. I don't know what you're talking about, Heck. Yes, and please like the stream. I only have 92 likes. There's 389 of you in here. Can you at least get me to 100? Maybe 150? That would be great. I would appreciate it. Kick the bucket, y'all, and like the stream. That was my best cheerleader. Thank you, RG.
Literally looked up my home address, then cross-referenced it via police records to try to discredit me, but in the process actually proved I got swatted 3 times last year, providing the dates, making it easier to find my address, by the way. I mean, they literally violated Reddit policy by making it easy on a thread to find my home address. It could even get their subreddit shut down. Absolutely insane. What's even crazier is that they tried to make it seem like I blame them for the swat. I didn't. This was, of course, horribly manipulative and something I would normally never do. I have a friend in PR and she
Didn't you do that in the DMs that was leaked?
recommended giving them misinformation, and I figure I have nothing to lose at this point, so why not have fun with it? But wow, did they take the bait. I'm sorry if this disappoints you, but after years of being harassed by these people, I just wanted to take some control back. I just can't believe how awful it made them look. Docs.
The squad's favorite, I can't, it won't show me the name fully. Says, I'm goth, and what you really need to do is make sure you get a good liquid eyeliner, a decent black red eyeshadow, and opt for liquid black lipstick so you can still drink and eat. Walmart has it all. Okay, give me a second. I am this bitch. Okay, hold on. Wait, before I do that. Hold on. Let me switch over to solo, and then let me do that. All right, hold on, because I'm about to snip this out so I know what to get. All right, here we go. Snip it out. Thank you. I appreciate you because I have no idea what the fuck I'm buying. Okay, goth advice. That's what we're calling this screenshot. Goth advice. Thank you. Okay. Well, okay. I don't necessarily have to get white foundation. Can't I just get a really light foundation? Like the lightest you can get? I can do that, right? And one thing I notice about goth makeovers, they're not all necessarily white-faced. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get, like, the light foundation. I don't have to go full white face. Yeah, I don't want to look like a clown. Exactly. Oh, God. Y'all fucking hate me. Jesus fucking Christ. Maui is like fucking... I know what Maui is doing right now. Maui is literally rocking back and forth, giggling like a little kid. Harley Quinn, I don't know my natural color foundation. I have never wore foundation in my life. Ever. I have never wore foundation. I have no clue what color foundation I wear. Rimmel London Stay Matte is what I use for the lipstick. It doesn't smear and it's more affordable than most. Is it ridiculous that I have to sit here and get told what shit to buy? Okay, hold on. Rimmel London Stay Matte. Okay. Rimmel London Stay Matte is what I use for the lipstick. It doesn't smear and it's more affordable than most. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what my foundation color is. The fuck? I know my skin is olive. That's it. So apply swatches to your wrist to color match. Xylee, you probably had the look working as a mechanic and didn't know it. Goth mechanic. No, because I didn't wear makeup. Why in the fuck would I have went to work wearing makeup knowing why? I was there to do a dirty ass fucking job. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be so fucking bad. Holy fuck.
Me than spending hours going through police records to discredit me. Horrible obsession gone awry. I feel really dirty and awful. I don't like lying and I don't like manipulating though, but I figure if they were going to call me that, I may as well take that and use it against them. Nothing in the world more dangerous than someone who has nothing left to lose though. I recommend watching out. It's textbook misdirection. You see, if you try to do due diligence on the lies he spins, you're actually the weirdo for being obsessed. When this was pointed out as extremely reckless and irresponsible behavior, he DM'd someone on Twitter saying he wasn't afraid of potential jail time for pulling the prank he did. In response to backlash from even his own fans on YouTube, Boogie stated that he was glad he lied about swatting thing and is willing to keep doing it if it makes his critics look bad. If it hasn't become clear to you already, allow me to spell it out to you. Though he might not have the most malicious of intentions, he is clearly very unstable and unfit to be on the internet, as it seems to exacerbate every problem he has. I know it's technically his job, but if the way that he responds to criticism is by lying to such an extent that
Ooh, that definitely changed. Did you hear what Turkey Tom just said? That he shouldn't be on the internet anymore. T-Ball says, Xylee, I will stay up and goth up with you. I appreciate you.
ventures into the realm of criminality that could land him in actual jail, I think it's better for him to miss out on whatever money he could make on AdSense by staying online in order to preserve his liberties. However, hard to believe considering how insane things already are, there's even more to this story. Not even a day after he tried to pretend that he was on some kind of elaborate operation to troll the trolls, Boogie's Twitter profile name was changed to Period. Meanwhile, his profile and banner pictures were removed. Shortly after the bizarre profile change, Boogie posted to his
Okay, so y'all voted for tomorrow. Okay, fine. Now, wait a minute. Now, here's another poll. Y'all have to vote on, you have to vote on this. All right? Which one? Do I show up with the makeup? Or do I react and do the, oh God, what is it called? What is that video called? Tutorial. All right, which one do you want me to do tomorrow? I can either show up with the makeup on, or do I react and do the tutorial? Because I'm letting you know now, it's going to cut into the Boogie thing. Harley Quinn's like, when did we gain so much democracy? I don't know. I'm feeling good. It's a fucking Sunday, okay? I don't know. Maybe because it's the Lord's Day that I'm giving y'all so much democracy in one day. I don't know. I know y'all aren't used to democracy when it comes to me. Because I can do either. However you want to do. T-Boss said, Harley Quinn, the moment the goths rose up to mark Xylee as one of us. Well, apathetic we did, but I figured that I remember I said I would ask y'all again. So get me to 100 votes and I'll end the poll. Because they reached it today, so I'm just going to go by it today. I mean, as in go by what they said today, but I'm actually going to go by the shit today, too. So many choices, so many possibilities. All right, so I'm gonna keep playing.
TikTok to say that his Twitter had been hacked by that hate subreddit. Now, obviously, it's rather suspicious that a hacker would get into Boogie's account, presumably where there's a lot of information stored in Twitter DMs, and then proceed to do nothing other than delete a few tweets and leave his account alone. Especially given his previous day of lying for hours on end to save face, most people on the sub, and even in his general Twitter following, were skeptical of the story. One person on Twitter took him to task on it. Why did they leave the channel link, stream promotion, and literally everything else? How isn't your Gmail compromised? Dude, just stop. To which Boogie replied, if I was faking this, I would have absolutely deleted those things. If I was faking, I would have left a breadcrumb trail to Kiwi Farms or elsewhere. But they want to frame me as a liar, and you took the bait. Basically, he immediately gets defensive and tries to act as if it's somehow obvious that the supposed hacking couldn't have been his work.
You know what? That's the thing. Don't bait these people. Oh God. Boogie is literally doing everything you're not supposed to do with the trolls. He's literally doing the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. I mean, listen, if you want to dabble with them and play with them and, you know, tell them fuck you and this, that, and the other, okay, fine. But to literally outright lie to trigger them or lie to bait them, you're fucking yourself over by doing that. Because not only are you baiting the trolls, you're fucking with your audience too at the same time. That's the one thing you don't want to do. You know? You don't want to do that. Apathetic, we already did that vote and they said tomorrow. Oh, apathetic, we already did that vote. You must have showed up late. We already did that one. They said tomorrow.
Of course, he doesn't provide any proof that he was hacked. He just goes around Twitter getting into petty slap fights with
Yeah, he wasn't baiting them, though. He's using it as an excuse to cover his lie. Yeah, and that's the thing. But what I'm saying is he is baiting them by doing that. He's basically, it's like he's trying to do like a reverse troll. Or he's trying to say he was doing a reverse troll, which is going to make them go deeper and go, ding, no you weren't, motherfucker. Because we have it all logged. He's an idiot.
Random strangers about how he's definitely not lying. A day later, Boogie claimed that he got his account back and made a tweet claiming that the hacker used the streaming app Mob Crush to hack into his Twitter account.
I only have 84 votes. Get me to 100 and I will do it. Whatever you say.
Also posted the IP address of all the recent logins in order to prove that he had been hacked from the app. Mob Crush then made an official statement on Twitter stating that it was impossible for a hacker to gain access to a user's Twitter account in the manner Boogie was describing, and that the IP Boogie had posted was from their own AWS servers, showing that Boogie had indeed lied about being hacked. In typical Boogie fashion, he claimed that the people on the subreddit were lying, and that he indeed had been hacked, but that he could not actually prove his own statements, and all evidence pointed to him being wrong. Came back to Twitter for one thing. Why would I fake a hack to remove those tweets if I was making a video admitting to the thing I deleted? Still no clue how I got hacked, but use your brain. It's pointless to hide a tweet about something that I'm uploading in 24 hours. I mean, he's right. It would be extremely dumb to fake a hack to remove those tweets about something that you're posting within a day. If you really want to talk about what's the most probable...
Yeah, but you probably deleted those tweets. Let's be honest. Why would they delete those particular tweets?
Explanation to this incident, it's much more likely that Boogie fakes the hack in order to have something to make the subreddit that has been outing you as a pathological lying freak look bad. There's something called...
It's like Emily D. Baker. Here's the reason why I don't care for Emily D. Baker. And I know a lot of people like her. And honestly, she gives good commentary on court cases and stuff like that. I'm not taking that away from her. But when she had made that one comment about that one girl that was pieced out by the cops, all right? People watched her in real time on her Twitter. Her tweets were deleting themselves one by one. And she tried to say it was a glitch on Twitter. But her tweets only deleted in a certain time span. It wasn't all her tweets. It was only tweets up to a certain time. And they deleted one by one. Which in all reality, she probably used something like redact.dev or something. But she tried to say that Twitter glitched and it deleted her tweets. No, ma'am. We are not that dumb. People literally watched your tweets go one by one. Bam, bam, bam. That's why I don't care for her. That's one of the reasons why I don't care for her very much. So... I feel like Boogie lies as often as he eats food. I think Boogie is not in the same place that he was before. You know what I mean? I think Boogie's more truthful now than what he was back then. So...
Cui bono, which is the principle that in order for a conspiracy to happen, there must also be someone benefiting from it. Look at who may benefit, and you probably have your culprit. The only person that could possibly benefit from this harmless hack was Boogie himself, since it would only make the subreddit look bad. If there was any compromising information about him that got leaked, then that would cast doubt on it being Boogie at all, because why would he leak that, right? But if there's no...
Okay, so you want me to show up. You know, I might wear my Wendigo onesie with it. That might work, right? Wearing my Wendigo onesie with the goth makeup. That would be cute, right? Wouldn't my Wendigo onesie be good? I think it would be. Yeah. And I'll get like a Nightmare Before Christmas like t-shirt or something like that, because I'll always buy Nightmare Before Christmas. I love me some Nightmare Before Christmas. So, yeah. Okay, I might do that. I might wear my Wendigo onesie with it. Is it black? Yeah, it's a black Wendigo onesie, and it has like the Wendigo hood part with like the skull, and then it's got the ribs right here. Yeah. All right, so that's what I'll wear, and I'll get like a t-shirt or whatever so I can take the top part off because it does get hot. All right, I'll do that. So I'll show up with it tomorrow. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Which means I'm gonna have to get up even earlier. You know I'm gonna have to buy a fucking mirror for this too. Y'all fucking hate me, bro. And I know what the next goal is going to have to be. Hopefully Maui doesn't watch at 4 in the morning, because Maui will push the shit out of the next goal. My next goal should be like glam makeup. That should be the next goal. I don't own like a makeup mirror where you can like look close. I don't own like a makeup mirror. No. What do I need a makeup? I don't put on makeup. The fuck do I need one for? a mirror like in my bathroom or like in the hallway. I don't own like one of those up close mirrors. Just use the OBS camera cap. Seth Look says, watch the Smashing Pumpkins Ava Adore music video over and over for inspiration. All right, that's what I'll have to do then. So. Glam makeup, great idea. Let's invite Glammy. You know what, honestly, heck? If I did glam makeup, I absolutely would get Glammy on the episode, and we'll make a whole fucking episode with it. That's actually, because you know what? I'm on fucking Reapers. I don't have to sit here and I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's not Rewind. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can make it a whole fucking episode, me and Glammy putting on makeup. Actually, I could do that. That actually makes sense. Okay. Well, we're not going to start that goal today, all right? Let me get through the trauma of putting on the fucking goth makeup first. All right.
Compromising information, it's just a hack. The only evidence doesn't seem to add up, and the only account of it is coming from Boogie. Well, you can probably guess where it came from. To top this all off, he made a video called Boogie2988 Exposed, where he claims he's working with the FBI.
WVU. Be a lot better than the trash you're doing now. And yet you're here. And commenting. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know you're helping with the algorithm with doing that, right? I appreciate you, bro.
To stop the harassment campaign on him. When people started laughing at this attempt at intimidation en masse, he deleted the video, but luckily for us, it has been re-uploaded. These lies being exposed also called upon another situation that, at the time, nobody had thought to question. In June of 2017, Boogie appeared on the H3 podcast. There, he told a story about how someone on the deep web, in his words,
Boogie is so big here, he does not have a neck. Literally, Boogie is so big here, he does not have a neck. Oh, shit. He's a lot different now. God damn.
Put out a Bitcoin offer to have him assassinated.
The address that gets leaked the first time, they eventually get my address right, but the address that gets leaked the first time is my neighbor's address, my friend's address. And so when they put the assassination hit on Tor Network, they sent it to my house. Then to show, like they sent an email to me, hey man, you need to see this.
Given everything we've seen so far, I'd say that's a likely story. It was at this point Boogie got himself into a situation he never expected, and one that gave him the opportunity to be the victim he desperately desired to be seen as. In the middle of 2020, YouTuber Frank Hassel began interacting with Boogie's account online, mocking him for having blocked him and generally being a nuisance towards him. At the time, it seemed like Boogie had no idea who Frank even was. Eventually, this pressure on Steven mounted to the point where he and Frank went at it on the kill stream.
Oh God, this was one of the dumbest moves. Oh, Jesus Christ, Boogie. This was one of the dumbest moves you ever fucking made. This shit right here, bro. I remember this. Good night, Hack. I'll see you later.
Which resulted in an extremely one-sided battering on Boogie's pathological lying. In what looks like a desperate attempt to get Frank to relent from attacking him, Boogie DMs Frank saying that he's welcome to kill him as long as Frank doesn't hurt his family, friends, and dog. Frank's trolling campaign on Boogie only became more extreme as time went on, with him posting a picture of himself in front of Boogie's house saying, "This is my house now." Boogie calls his bluff, saying that he won't show up because he's a coward, while simultaneously suggesting that he shouldn't show up because he would be shot. Eventually, as most of you probably already know if you have even a cursory amount of knowledge about Boogie or Frank, eventually this confrontation took place in real life. Frank showed up to Boogie's doorstep with a GoPro strapped to his forehead, insulting Boogie in whatever ways he could think of, and Boogie came out with a revolver. After a couple of minutes of them going back and forth, Boogie shot a warning shot, and Frank left. Though thankfully both parties came out unharmed, Boogie shot a gun in a school zone, which landed him in county jail, which he was bailed out of at the tune of $5,000. When it comes to assessing what happened here...
Oh, God damn it, Boogie. Bro. The meme. True.
Morally, there's a strong case to be made that Boogie was unjustly harassed in the situation. But for most people, the ends justify the means because the entire thing was just too funny to ignore. This whole situation made Boogie back away from social media, but this was only temporary, as in June of 2021, he returned with a video about his arrest. Despite everything that had happened, from being arrested, charged for his reckless shooting of a firearm into the air, and the amount of people making fun of him, Boogie had finally managed to recapture some semblance of relevance. This video has more than 600,000 views, which is the best he had done in a while. And for once, he was a genuine victim. He didn't have to lie. He had something real to complain about. This was a make or break moment for Boogie. He was being talked about by Scare.
The shit is wild, plus he lost his right. He did. He's a felon. He's technically a felon now. Absolutely. 100%. Yep. Yep. Nick showing his DMs with Boogie at this was was interesting. Yeah, it was, Julianne. That was funny as fuck, actually.
Drama alert in every internet news outlet under the sun. He could either spin this story into another wave of popularity by making some genuinely great content now that he had all eyes on him, or repeat the mistakes of his past and once again fade into irrelevance. As you can probably guess, we didn't get the good ending. For the past half-decade, Boogie has had a pretty dedicated group of observers going over all of his controversies and compiling information about him. Apart from Sam and Tolkien, which was banned, many of these guys congregate on the typical lolcow sites. After the subreddit that talked about Boogie was shut down, the discussions were relegated either to lolcow itself, which was far from being as
Apathetic Gamer says Boogie in the school is not a school shooter. He was not a school shooter, Apathetic. He was in a school zone, or he shot it towards like a school zone. Does that make the shooting worse? Yes, because it was in a school zone. Yes, that made it worse.
easy to access and normie friendly as Reddit and Kiwi Farms, a lot of people treat the farms like they treat 4chan, as an evil boogeyman that does nothing but harm. PR-wise, Boogie had it easy, as his most fervent opponent started out with the massive disadvantage of being known as the gathering spot for the scum of the earth. Much like 4chan, for every good and informative post that's backed up by evidence and well-done research, there's 3 or more posts spewing absolute nonsense. But if you're in the business of researching eccentric, esoteric, and otherwise extraordinarily screwed people, as I am, you're condemned to sit through it with the patience of a Buddhist monk. As it turns out, the Boogie thread on Kiwi Farms is gigantic, with over 1,200 pages of nothing but people dunking on the guy. Personally, despite all I've covered, I don't hate him as much as I feel pity and annoyance, but that's besides the point. More recently, a development from the site has been the idea that Boogie is currently running sock accounts to get back at his haters. It all started with Boogie Truth, a Twitter account that has collected content that criticizes
Yeah, he annoys the fuck out of me too at this point. Boogie didn't stop annoying me until I learned how Boogie really was and how he's been since his cancer arc. Honestly, up until his cancer arc, he annoyed the fuck out of me. And it really was an annoyance. Like a deep-seated annoyance.
This is Boogie for quite some time. As you can see, it's relatively small and doesn't get a ton of engagement, getting 20 likes on a tweet on a good day. Enter this post on Kiwi, where someone is remarking that this account, NightlyGirl4, is responding to the Boogie Truth account saying, well, maybe if it weren't for the hate sites and stalkers, he wouldn't have to worry about staying off social media. We also have a reply to Shoe on Head saying that, now if we go to Twitter to take a look at this account, we can see media. We also have a reply to Shoe on Head saying,
such a baddie. I'd love to eat. Boogie!
That, now if we go to Twitter to take a look at this account, we can see that the only thing they do for the most part is interact with Boogie. They retweet all of his stuff, they compliment him, they insult anyone who is critical.
Oh my god, I need to ask Boogie about this. Was this really his alt account? Oh my god, was this really his alt account? Oh my god. That's the makeup look you should do? Oh, we're fucked. If you're expecting me to do all that. Oh my god.
Critical of him, and they have a particular hatred for Frank Hassel, who at this point was seen as Boogie's arch nemesis. They tweeted H3 trying to get Ethan's attention to talk about Boogie, and they weirdly insult Boogie's dad and call him a rapist. This is quite unusual, since people were already heavily doubtful of Boogie's stories about his CSA, to the point where the thought of anyone calling him a rapist based on the things Boogie has said was far-fetched. When taking a look at the bio for this account, we see she describes herself as a cute goth girl just living her life. Now, if we look at Google Images and simply type in cute goth girl, this is one of the first results, so this obviously isn't her. Whoever made this account just ripped it and used it as a profile picture, but that's not abnormal, right? A lot of people use pics that don't belong to them or pics of other people as their profile images. But let's be honest here for a second, what person self-identifying as a cute goth girl would be a fan of Boogie2988 of all people? And not just a fan, mind you, an obsessive fan who does nothing but talk to and about Boogie all day. Sure, anyone can make a Twitter account and claim to be whoever, so it might be some anon that's a Boogie fan pretending to be a cute goth girl. However, who has the motivation to be a steadfast defender of Boogie in modern day besides—
Okay, Maui, you're asking way too much. No, because I'm streaming at 10 in the morning. I'm streaming at 10 in the morning. Zay has a flight to catch. It's not happening, bro.
Boogie himself. This incongruence was accentuated when another similar account began popping up, this one called Busty Girl 69. This account was suspended, but from a screenshot we can see that it was made the same month as the other account, with the same super basic bio scheme as well as a picture of some random chick from Google Images with a flag for a banner. One noteworthy interaction from this person was that when someone messaged them being admitted—
fuck you, piece of shit, face hate stalker, fuck you, fuck Frank. You guys cause me more stress and I hope you— oh my god!
pretty mean, they took it very personally, sending back an image of Goatsy accompanied by the following message. Fuck you, piece of shit, scrotal-faced hate stalker. Fuck you, Kiwi Farms. Fuck Frank. You guys caused me more stress and I hope you die. Get blocked. This sounds quite like a certain YouTuber we've come to know and despise. It almost reads like breaking character, clear as day. Not only because the reaction was so angry, but also because Frank and Kiwi Farms are explicitly singled out, which just reeks of Boogie being extremely salty about having his good guy persona picked apart so brutally by them. Another account, this one called Nocturnal Walrus, was created a month apart from the other two, also following the same format.
Glam Mayhem, my husband will be at work, so he will not see the makeup on me. Run for Breakfast says, Xylee, get Boogie to help. He's a goth girl, apparently. Apparently. Goddamn.
The typical praise for Boogie and fixation on his haters. Someone did the diligence of comparing the times of interaction on the Nocturnal Walrus account, and we see that on April 29th, Boogie's first tweet of the day was at 4:24 p.m. Coincidentally, the first tweet of the day on the Nocturnal Walrus account was just a few minutes later. Boogie also went out of his way to respond to them specifically. Now, it's worth noting that the account posting this then goes on to call Boogie a morbidly obese pedo, only half of which is true, but the screenshots are certainly compelling. This is followed up with a more compelling post comparing the dates, and we see that this is a trend for this account. They always respond to Boogie, they only respond to Boogie, and the times always line up. The more people looked into these patterns, the more similar accounts turned up. Eventually, word of this made its way around Twitter until it found its way back to Boogie, who decided to respond with his usual spiel, claiming that people will believe anything anyone says about him.
I never understood people with alt accounts. I just don't have the time or the energy to make a fucking alt account and go around and doing this shit. I really don't. I don't have the time for that shit, bro.
Claiming it's ridiculous to think he would ever pull such a thing, when he obviously would pull such a thing given his track record. People out here believe that anyone who says something positive about me is just me on another account. Prove them wrong and say something nice. This is yet another example of Boogie's not so competent attempts at doublespeak. Here, while he does imply that the account is not his, he doesn't actually claim it. Instead, he suggests that people begin saying positive things about him to prove that he isn't the only person who could say good things about himself. Clearly, he's begging for some kind of validation from fans, who now were more scattered than ever since the guy they were a fan of was self-destructing in front of his own audience. Some people bought this defense from him, but I have to say that, if you did, then you either don't know much about Boogie or you're desperate to believe in this nice guy narrative. All in all, for whatever qualities he may have, Boogie is severely terminally online and has been for—
He's actually a nice guy, though. That's the thing. He actually is a nice guy. He's a lot different than I thought he was. I will say that.
way too long, which is bad enough if you have no mental issues. He's been known to lie very flagrantly for weeks on end to make himself look like a victim in situations, and I honestly believe that he's the one running these stock accounts. It's either that, or someone is trying to frame him by making the accounts, but at this rate, we have a Boy Who Cried Wolf situation where, even if Boogie isn't the one pulling the strings this time, his rep is so bad that it will never be figured out. Even if he has lied in the past, I don't think he would accept defeat this quickly. It doesn't really make sense to me. Furthermore, Boogie specifically sought out the replies of this account to respond to this person, accusing the account of being an alt rather than address it publicly. You would think that with all the hate he gets, he would be able to just—
Wait, I'm not standing for Boogie, but what the fuck sad-ass life do you lead that you have the time, let alone the desire, to even care for or research this? Really and truly, other than you, who really gives a fuck? Even if I were so desperate as to make these accounts, it's still more desperate to stalk me and criticize me for it. Not if they're e-logging you.
Ignore it, but he has consistently shown himself completely unable to let go. Time and time again, he compulsively has to go through the replies, expose himself to all the vitriol, and engage with it. I mean, even if there was a troll doing this, they would have to be the least intelligent troll ever. What is the point in pretending that Boogie runs alts to respond to people? What actual damage would that even do when you compare it to the massive list of other lies he's told? This pales in comparison to the swatting. But the overarching truth of the matter is, it actually doesn't matter at all to anyone whether the alts are his or not. Well, to anyone except Steven. He needs everybody to know that in his free time. He's definitely not making fake accounts to pretend that he has dedicated fans, who all happen to be super hot cutie 3.14s, by the way. One of the most revisited parts of Boogie's backstory is the fact that poverty is something that looms in his background. From growing up dirt poor to living in his brother's apartment in his early adult.
Okay, only for about 3 years. 21 homeless, 22 odd jobs, 23 started a small online business, 30 small business fails, started to live off of savings, worked retail, 31 got super sick, almost died, 32 best friend supports, 34 disability, 36 YouTube starts paying me, 37 off disability.
To being on disability for a total of 3 years from age 34 to 37, Boogie has always had issues with money. After he began making some off of YouTube, this issue was soothed to a great extent, but as it turns out, the problem isn't just with money itself, but with the mentality he has when it comes to finance. In 2017, about a decade into his YouTube career, Boogie took an interest in cryptocurrencies. That January, Bitcoin's value broke the $1,000 barrier. It then doubled, tripled, and by the end of the year, skyrocketed to over 19 grand. This immense growth led many people to become millionaires overnight. That included some YouTubers, of whom Boogie became quite envious of. He tweeted out, "Remember when Bitcoin was 800 bucks. I had 10K in savings at that time and didn't invest because I didn't believe it would increase in value. That would have sold for over $200,000 today. I hate myself. He then lamented that he'll never be a millionaire now, which is probably only true if he's talking about liquidity, because if we're to consider his house part of his net worth, he's most definitely a millionaire already. Many were quick to point out that his hesitancy to invest was a good thing, as you shouldn't invest more than you're willing to lose. To Boogie, however, all he saw—
How long did I know him? When I started working here. So it was after the cancer art. When I started working here is when I started to get to know him. So December is when I started to get to know him.
was that other people got something that he didn't, and he was unwilling to hear a second opinion. Though no one can know for sure, it's perhaps that goal that led him to treat these investments as tools for gambling. After seeing how much he could have made on Bitcoin, Boogie bought a small amount of Ethereum at a friend's recommendation. They told him it was projected to grow 10 times in value. It was priced at $120 at the time, which places his purchase in May of 2017. Ethereum grew throughout the year, reaching over 1,000 by January 2018. This meant Boogie made 8 times his initial investment, a massive relief during an otherwise stressful point in time. You see, just weeks prior was when his then wife filed for divorce. Though Boogie got to keep the house and car, she was given half their savings. While this still left him with more money than what a lot of people see in their lifetime, it pushed him into a midlife crisis. He claimed that during their marriage, he spent next to nothing, which, again, I'd safely venture to say is some major cap. Because of this, he attempted to recapture his youth by indulging in toys. He then refurnished the house, spending—
Oh, dear God. I remember that guy that flexed that he bought pizza and beers with his Bitcoin. This was way back before it ballooned, yeah.
thousands on new furniture. And as previously mentioned, Boogie created an account on a sugar baby website to find some poor girl he could spend extravagant amounts of cash on. There, he listed his net worth at $500,000 and an annual income of $150,000. He later claims that this helped him cope and dull the feelings of loneliness. Unfortunately, this prosperity came to an end when crypto began to plummet. Bitcoin dipped as low as $3,000, with other currencies faring far worse. Ethereum's fall was one of the most drastic, losing 94% of its value over the year. Once again, Boogie—
Oh, shit! I thought by selling off my initial investment in crypto with Ethereum was worth $1,500. Now it's worth $500 and falling. Oh, god damn.
Kicked himself for not trusting his gut. I thought about selling off my initial investment in crypto when Ethereum was worth $1,500. Now it's worth $500 and falling. Easy come, easy go, I guess. I've lost so much in Ethereum this month that if I lost every dime of this, I wouldn't even notice.
Fuck that crypto shit. I don't fucking trust it. There's no fucking way. He puts the blame on Jesse, and Jesse advised what to buy and when to sell. His 250K had gone up to 750K, and Jesse told him to sell, and he didn't sell, so lost tons. Yeah.
It's important to remember that back then, crypto was just something he toyed around with, as Boogie had far more lucrative revenue streams. In 2013, he claimed he was making $25,000 a year on YouTube alone. This amount obviously went up as he became more popular, but it was eventually threatened during the adpocalypse of the late 2010s, in which advertisers became more strict in what they were willing to support. His main channel was caught in the crossfire, being blacklisted for many ads. Thanks to his positive reputation, however, he wasn't affected as heavily as others. He was able to recoup a significant amount through merch sales and sponsorships, which by 2019 he claimed made up 90% of his income. He made so much, in fact, that it was during this time that the Tesla debacle happened, with him claiming he put a down payment on one. Had he maintained this, Boogie would likely still be fine today in spite of his woes. But in the background, a controversy began to erupt. As previously mentioned, after his divorce, glimpses of his manipulative and malicious behavior began to become more and more apparent. This left many fans disillusioned with Boogie and his content, especially after Lucy Fox's video on him. So they began digging, uncovering a long history of bizarre statements and inconsistencies. By the time Sam and Tolkien got to him, there was a decent case to be made that he was a pathological liar. Among
the hidden truth that Boogie doesn't want you to know, criticism mega thread. Yeah, that's the thread that Boogie told me about. Because I told him I was doing this, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And, or a week ago or something like that. I don't know. Time is really weird for me in the LCU. But I told him about it, and he told me, he goes, look at the mega thread. Because there's a mega thread on me that shows everything. So that's the thread he was talking about.
A host of other terrible traits. This erupted in February 2019 when the mega thread was made. This was then adapted into a YouTube video by Christopher Tom, which has nearly 4 million views. The deconstruction of his—
Oh! Wait.
This was then adapted into—
Oh, so he does the video of that mega thread. Hold on. Hold on. Christopher Tom. Okay. All right. He does a video on the mega thread. That makes it easier. All right, let's go.
a YouTube video by Christopher Tom, which has nearly 4 million views. The deconstruction of his persona and subsequent backlash kneecapped his career. Consequently, there was an immense pressure on sponsors to distance themselves from him. By mid-2020, Boogie claims that his 4 million sub channel was generating little to no income. I'm making a few bucks, not enough to call it a living. My Patreon only brings in $130 a month because I never promote it. I make maybe a few hundred a month from donations, as I never stream. AdSense is mostly non-existent now. Sponsors are rare. Thankfully, there was one last refuge for Boogie, the Ethereum from all those years back that he never sold. For years, he continued to hold out hope that one day it'd go straight to the moon. Because he publicly mourned his losses a year prior, to say people were skeptical is an understatement. They restlessly waited for the day that he lost it all, and in every other aspect of his life that year was soul-crushing. In addition to losing his main source of income, he got into his very public feud with Frank Hassel, which ended in Boogie firing a quote-unquote warning shot that resulted in his arrest. Now, in addition to his already fleeting income, he had to hire an attorney, being forced to spend over $30,000 on trying to keep himself out of jail. But perhaps, as a rare moment of divine intervention, Boogie hit the crypto jackpot. In March of 2020, Ethereum was priced at approximately $130. It appreciated slowly until October, when the value increased rapidly. By January, it was worth over $1,200, and 3 months later, that doubled. This growth continued until November, with the currency peaking at nearly $4,500. Boogie was undoubtedly rolling in it at this point.
Why didn't he sell it then? Why didn't he get rid of it? Wouldn't you? I mean, it seems like to me, if you're going to be gambling with money like that, once it doubles, get rid of it, right? Doesn't that make sense? I don't know. I don't know crypto. It just makes sense to me that if I put in $10 and then once it reaches worth of $20, then you pull that out and then invest the same amount that you originally invested in. And if that doubles, then you pull it out and you have the extra money, and then you put in the same amount of money you had before. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it makes sense to me, but I don't know crypto. Am I crazy? I don't know. I don't know crypto. I don't understand that shit. To me, it's way too much of a gamble with your money. That's why I'll never fucking touch it. I'm going to tell you now. Well, Magitech, I was using numbers that I could, like, understand. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously the numbers would be different. Obviously, duh. Obviously, it's not worth $10, and I was just throwing out numbers to make it easy. You know what I mean? Yeah, me too. I don't know, man. I don't trust it. I don't fucking trust it. I really don't trust crypto. You'll never catch me doing that shit. Have a good night, Snickers. Or day, excuse me. Or night, wherever you are. Yeah, nah, fuck that crypto shit, bro. Hey, Seek.
Points. But, like in many other instances, this second chance quickly began being abused. Boogie started bragging shortly after the first 1,000. He wasted no time rubbing it in the faces of the Redditors, saying, "Whenever the market does well, I think back to an old Reddit post earlier this year during the crash that said, 'Thank God Boogie's losing all his money.' How spiteful this person must have been that he hoped millions of people would go broke so I could lose my meager savings." He then announced he'd be quitting YouTube as he no longer needed a job. This is because
Well, that was a lie.
he invested far more in crypto than he let on. In the summer of 2019, Boogie was very openly suicidal. He even threatened to take his own life at VidCon, forcing several YouTubers to intervene. It was this unwillingness to live that led him to contemplate.
You know what, Devans? Same. It's too much math for me. It's too much math for me, too. I agree. 100%. That's just too much. I'm not trying to work that hard. Fuck that. I'll go bag groceries for fucking money. At least I'll know by that math on how much I worked is how much I'm getting paid. Poke Gaga says crypto is fine to speculate in. Don't recommend it as an investment. Yeah, bro. It's too, I feel like it's too complicated. For my pea brain, it's way too complicated for me. That's why I'll never, you won't catch me doing that shit. Nuke says that's the problem with Boogie. He pushes his luck till it's on the edge of a cliff. Yeah, true.
He claims that if he was going to die anyway, he may as well gamble away his savings. So, at the supervision of Jesse from McJuggernuggets, he put all of his life savings into crypto. This would all be revealed in a video he uploaded on January 18th titled, "I'm Finally Rich, How Crypto Made Me Rich." While Boogie doesn't state exactly how much he made, he stipulates that it wasn't even close to $1 million. But as Ethereum continued to rise, that attitude changed. Just over a week later, he would tweet out, "So remember I made that video saying I was rich, meaning I'm stable and well off? If crypto keeps doing this, I'll actually be a millionaire for the first time in my life. I did the calculations, and if I was able to cash out right around $1 million, I could retire. Never worry about money money again, travel the world, get surgery to remove this skin, take care of my friends, also hookers and cocaine, I guess. In true Boogie fashion, he continued bragging while feigning humility. In one tweet, he claimed to feel guilty for making so much money because he couldn't share it, but it's obvious he just wanted to flaunt his newfound wealth as he fixated on the mythical 7 figures. He would tweet over and over again about how he hoped to become a millionaire.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not looking at money unless it's actually in my bank account. Until it hits that bank account, it's not real to me. I'm gonna be honest. Until it is literally and physically, well, not physically, because you know how banks work, but you know what I mean. Unless I have that total in my bank account, to me, it does not exist. I'm sorry. Shit.
Thank God I invested and got lucky. Not a millionaire yet. Maybe one day. After my crypto passes 1 million, I'll get the Model X and make it a Back to the Future car. When my crypto investments finally make me a millionaire, I'm going to have hot nurses give me my Mountain Dew intravenously. This is no coincidence. Even before investing, it's an aspiration he tweeted about often. In October 2016, shortly before his ads were undercut, he wanted to earn $1 million within 3 years. Weeks later, that goal changed to 1 year. Of course, once he lost both his ads and sponsors, this became infeasible. That is, until crypto offered him one final chance, and by late February, Boogie tripled his life savings. This was well more than enough for him to live comfortably, and given he admitted it was the gamble of a suicidal man, one would expect him to withdraw. But oddly, he seemed convinced it was safer in Ethereum.
See, I feel like that was the dumb move, bro. It seems like to me you should have just pulled out from it. Cash it out. Get rid of it. Sayonara. Shit.
Spoke of it as if it were a bank, noting that his money was better there and out of their reach. Instead of pulling it out, he attempted to diversify by taking more and more risks on random shit coins with basically no backing. Though it's uncertain how many he bought, some can be ascertained through Twitter. Not only was Boogie being greedy, he was also exhibiting signs of pride, as he began investing as if he actually had a good
Squad says, Xylee out here shaking her head like a disappointed mother hearing Boogie's questionable decisions. I feel like a disappointed mother. Fuck. And he's older than I am. Not by much, but he's older than I am.
Understanding of what made certain cryptos valuable and others not, instead of investing with the understanding that he had gotten lucky. For example, Boogie bought a few $100s worth of Luna. This would end up being a 99.9% loss, dropping to just 2 cents. Even when he did make money, the gains were then funneled into losses. He put $3 grand into Dogecoin of all things, only to profit 2,000. However, the money was then put into GME during the GameStop short squeeze. Despite claiming multiple times he would walk away from crypto for security, he never did. Instead, he wasted away hundreds of thousands of dollars in a desperate attempt to earn more. By the end of the year, he became much quieter about his investments, and it would take until 2022 for him to admit why.
Okay, why are you fucking telling everybody your fucking business in the first fucking place? Stop telling people your fucking business. Oh my God, YouTubers, stop telling people your fucking business!
On February 23rd, he admitted to making so many bad trades, he was back to a break-even investment point. Within 12 months, he managed to lose $500,000. This itself would be bad enough, but just a few months later, even that would be lost. That same June, the crypto market experienced a massive downturn. This resulted in it shedding nearly 60% of its total market cap, a loss of over $2 trillion. This universal decline caused Boogie to incur a loss of over 6 figures.
How's the crypto crash hitting you? Not great. I will take your subscriptions today. I would definitely take your donations and subscriptions today. Crypto market crashes is not fun. I am sweating it. I'm sweating bullets, boys. You remember this time a year ago I made a video saying I'll never have to work again and I'm fine and everything else? Should have pulled out of the market then. I did not. I mean, I think it's going to go back up at one point, but, you know, for it is right now, scary times, boys.
Ethereum alone decreased to a
Jesus Christ, bro. You dummy.
third of its price, dropping from $3,000 to just $1,000 in a few months. Boogie remained hopeful, desperate to retain that illusion that he was still wealthy. But as what remained of his savings began to dry up, he was forced to accept the truth. Up until this point, no one knew how truly bad things had gotten. But then on October 5th, Boogie uploaded a video simply titled, "I Need Your Help."
The bad reason is I'm fine.
Oh, this fucking video. I tore this video up. This fucking video.
I'm in a position where I have to get back to work. And I'm not making any excuses here. You know I spent a tremendous amount of money on dumb things. But the biggest issue is that I had a nice big nest egg. I took some financial advice from a friend, and I'm not pointing fingers necessarily.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Mazer 1123 super chatted $20, cuz tonight will be the night that I will fall for you woo over again.
Okay. Okay. I understand that reference, you motherfucker. Mazer, you are fucking diabolical. I hate you. Okay, Mazer, I hate you. You are a bastard. Holy shit, Mazer hates me. It's official. I guess I'll add that to the tally, right? Because, you know, Mazer's, listen, we hit 30 out of 25. Let's fucking go. Yay, Xylee does goth makeup for tomorrow. She's so fucking excited, bro. Yay, she's so excited. Woohoo. Can you see my excitement? I'm so excited to put on goth makeup. Holy shit. Yay. Boogie's beard isn't even on his chin. It's on his throat. Literal definition of a neck beard. Literal definition of a neck beard. Oh, Poke Gaga. Beautiful TTS. I fucking hate you.
The advice, but I put my money in the crypto market in the wrong section, and I pretty much lost most of everything.
After publicly gloating that YouTube was no longer his job, Boogie begrudgingly returned. He briefly explains what happened, blaming advice he took.
I am not dyeing my hair. What? No. Well, you do have to dye your hair in black too. No, I am not dyeing my hair black, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to dye my... Do you know you cannot get rid of that fucking color once you do it? Black and blue are like two of the hardest colors to get out of your head. You know how I had to get rid of the blue that was in my hair? I had to color it pink to make it purple. That was the only way I could get that fucking blue out of my hair. Black is the same way. It does not leave your hair. Nah. Nope. It does not come out easy. Listen, my shit's gray right now for a reason. All right? We're leaving it alone. If I'd color my hair anything, it would be a light pink to get the gray to be a light pink. I am not doing that shit. Kiss my ass. Not doing it. Okay? Just saying. Yeah, Harlequin knows I used to be blue-black, and it was a bitch to get rid of. It is a bitch to get... Been there, done that. $2,000 to bleach it white. You know, I almost did that, Magic Tech. I almost did that. I was thinking about doing that. Getting it just all gray. Like the whole thing, like getting rid of the black strands and just make it all gray. I was actually thinking about doing that. So, why don't I dye it light brown? Nah, I'm not going to go through all that. Dyeing your hair is so bad for your health. Not really. Not when I use semi-permanent, and it actually, the stuff I use actually conditions your hair, and it's actually pretty helpful to your hair. I don't do the bleach shit anymore. I just literally use a, oh God. I forgot the name of it, but it literally conditions your hair as you color it. So it's actually good for your hair.
Publicly gloating that YouTube was no longer his job, Boogie begrudgingly returned. He briefly explains what happened, blaming advice he took from a friend. The rest is exactly what you would expect. He desperately begs his audience for money while promising new Francis videos. He calls upon them to buy his merchandise, use his referral links, and send super chats. Of course, this was rather unconvincing, and the video was received extremely poorly, receiving an overwhelming 18,000 dislikes compared to 10,000 likes. The comments were filled with people mocking him and telling him,
back in the day when we could dislike a fucking video, bring back the dislike button. Bring it back. I'm sorry James Charles got his fucking feelings hurt. I'm sorry James Charles got his fucking feelings hurt. He ain't even hardly on YouTube anymore. Bring the fucking dislike button back, bro. This is bullshit. Because now you got people running around using a goddamn extension that doesn't fucking work, saying, oh, look how many dislikes they have. No, bitch, that's not the real counter. The extension does not work. Bring back the dislike button. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing about the dislike button. It was still engagement. It still put you in the algorithm. FYI, the dislike button didn't hurt you in the algorithm. It was still engagement. bring back the fucking dislike button. Rum for Breakfast says the extension works to trigger Nicholas Dioria. Yeah, it triggers me too. It triggers me too, and it's irritating as fuck. When I see established YouTubers going, well, this is how many dislikes this video. Did you get it from the back end of the person who uploaded the fucking video? Because unless you get the dislikes from the person in the back end of their own video, I am not going to trust how you say how many videos on this day and age have any dislikes. Because that fucking extension does not work. Stop using that fucking extension. Evan said people were whining and crying about it being ratio. Yeah, James Charles. James Charles is the reason why that dislike button is gone. It's James Charles' fault. It literally was James Charles.
To get a job. In response, he reminded them that he was disabled and a felon.
Xylee as a goth cougar tomorrow. Let's go. Shut up, Seek. Shut up. Shut up, Seek. Love you.
Unrelated reasons, here's a clip from March of this year before the crash.
When people tell me to go get a real job, it makes me laugh because I'm not going to go work harder to make less money. That might be your choice. It's definitely going to be mine.
Though Boogie doesn't name whose advice he took, he would provide more clues on Twitter. In March, Boogie tweeted about STORJ. He stated that experts consider the coin undervalued and worth looking into. The price plummeted, causing many to criticize him for giving bad financial advice. In response, he claimed to have not lost much and that anyone who thought otherwise was a moron. Well, after uploading the video, he wrote a thread admitting that he did, in fact, lose a lot on it. 100% this. I took bad financial advice from a friend who promised he would bail me out if things went bad. Things went bad and he did not. Really stupid of me. Please tell us the shitcoin. You're gonna laugh. Storage. This alludes to the same offer explicitly referenced to be from McJuggernuggets. Interestingly, Boogie claims to have severed the friendship in a reply. In a different thread, he states that he hasn't spoken to Jesse in 8 months. It seems like after realizing how much
it's nice to know that they finally made up.
She lost, Boogie attempted to take him up on the deal. It wasn't on.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought McJuggernuggets was gonna join this universe at one point. I thought there was actually potential for McJuggernuggets to join. I really did. I thought it was gonna happen at one point. I really did.
And the two had a falling out. The same day this video came out, Jessie was called out by an ex-friend for allegedly misgendering her on purpose. This led to a massive back and forth.
Evan, I'm not dyeing my hair black. I know about the black hairspray. People use it for Halloween all the time. I am not dyeing my hair black. I am not dyeing my hair black. Let me say it 5,000 more times. I am not dyeing my hair black. I'm not doing it. I have been coloring my hair since I was allowed to at age, 15 or 16? All right, I am 49 now. Believe me, I know about all the hair coloring techniques. I know them all.
How much he lost, Boogie attempted to take him up on the deal. It wasn't honored and the two had a falling out. The same day this video came out, Jessie was called out by an ex-friend for allegedly misgendering her on purpose. This led to a massive back and forth as Boogie stepped to her defense. He would even film a statement for the Keemstar show where a 3-hour breakdown of the drama was conducted.
I just wanted to film a little video here in support of Emily because I feel like it's really important that her message is heard here.
Jessie responded by accusing him of ulterior motives, claiming he weaponized the issue for his personal problems.
Behind the camera with the fake tears and Boogie and everyone's trying to put their bitter resentment, their personal problems towards me and weaponize it with this whole transgender shit.
Jesse, you're trying to manipulate everybody because that's all you fucking do.
He elaborated in a Twitter
Mazer and Nusu, I am blocking y'all. I am hiding you from this channel. I am going to hide you. The two of you are banned. No, don't touch them. Don't ban them. Please don't ban them. I was joking. Live from Buffalo, New York. I was on that show. One episode.
Video the next day, though surprisingly revealed an entirely different reason. In Jesse's words, they fell out because one of Boogie's friends brought 2 prostitutes to his Halloween party without permission. Apparently, they drunkenly started fingering each other to the point of staining his carpet with blood. Jesse's father kicked them out, only for the friend to drunkenly put him through a table. Boogie was allegedly filming all of this, which led Jesse's dad to lecture him on being disrespectful. They got into an argument, resulting in Boogie and his friend being kicked out and forced to stay at a hotel. Boogie refuted this by posting a video of these ladies of the night making out, but it's since been deleted.
They don't have to. Jesse knows the truth, and that's all that matters, but I literally have video evidence that prove he's lying here. Oh, shit.
Show he wasn't filming in the specific clip, but other than that, the circumstances remain unclear. It seems strange that if Jesse was responsible for the advice, it wouldn't come up. Boogie is dead set on blaming that friend for his current situation, stating, "I wasn't living beyond my means. I just rested it all on the advice of a friend and it didn't pan out. What can I say? I'm an idiot."
Lillian Masai, thank you for being a cash cow for 5 months. I appreciate it. Release the video, Jesse. Well, they've made up now. I don't think there's a point. Yeah, that is kind of wild, Nusu. Okay, yeah, I was thinking the same fucking thing. Doing that till the blood is drawn is wild. Exactly. Like, bro. You know what I mean? Come on now. That sounds a little much to me.
Boogie would manage to collect nearly 1,000 in donations. Not a lot, but more than you'd expect. He also made hundreds by signing and selling Magic the Gathering cards. On YouTube, it appears he's begun to embrace whatever tactics are necessary to get clicks. He released a follow-up video thanking supporters while reading nice and mean comments. The thumbnail, meanwhile, contains an edited photo of his face to make him appear wider. This is an explicit.
Okay, now, I remember this specifically. I remember this whole thing that Boogie was doing. I remember sitting in a VC. It was me, Nick, and I think a couple of guys from Now Recording. We were sitting in a VC, and it was during this time, and Nick was like, Xylee, do you notice something? And we were looking at Boogie's videos, like his thumbnail, like his page, like his YouTube page. And I was like, no, what? He goes, look at this thumbnail. And I was like, it might have been actually this thumbnail here. And I was like, what? It's Boogie. He goes, no, look at the thumbnail. I was like, it's Boogie. What do you mean? He goes, okay, look at this face. Now let's press play. And he pressed play, and I was like, he made himself look more fat. Why would he do that? I remember the specific conversation me and Nick were having, and he showed me that. I remember that. And me personally, I never understood why Boogie did it.
And mean comments. The thumbnail, meanwhile, contains an edited photo of his face to make him appear wider. This is an explicit attempt to monetize hate clicks, showing just how far he's fallen from being the most wholesome man on the internet. Besides the usual vlogging and the desperate attempts at more Francis videos, he returned to form.
I just really didn't understand it. It made no fucking sense to me. Yeah, Nick pointed that out to us too. Yeah, he did it on stream, but it was before stream. Before he streamed it, we were literally sitting in the cabal, and he was showing it to me, and I didn't realize it. I was like, oh shit, he did change his face. And it was like that thumbnail, and I think there was a couple of other thumbnails that he did that exact thing. He was morphing his face to make himself look even bigger. It was crazy. I miss Now Recording too. I do. I miss their end of the year stream also when they give out the awards.
Videos about his weight and potentially losing it. He even recruited yet another fitness YouTuber to help him out with his umpteenth weight loss journey. I don't want to become cynical about this because on some level, I think that most people hope he'll become healthy and live the rest of his life in peace. But considering that Boogie seems less interested in peace and more in attention and money, I fear that this guy is just wasting his time. On November 15th, 2022, Boogie uploaded a video titled, I have a rare form of cancer. Unfortunately, it seems like he's not lying at all, especially considering that's what his father passed away from. Though we usually look at online influencers and content.
Okay. The funny thing is he may actually have that cancer, but he won't get the test that will tell him that he has that cancer. So he is not officially diagnosed with that cancer. That's where the lie was. You know what I mean? Like, he may actually have it, but he won't get the test that will officially diagnose him. So technically, he is not diagnosed with that cancer. You feel me? That's where the lie is. Oh no, there were a lot of lies, Rum, but I'm talking about this particular run. Remember, Rum, I go situation by situation. I don't go overall. He's lied a lot in his career. A lot. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a truthful man. There's a reason why there was a liar tattoo, right? But as far as the cancer go, the lie is he wasn't diagnosed with it because he won't take that test that would actually diagnose him if he does have it. You know? Yeah, their award, the Spurg Awards, the Spurgies, yeah, they were good. Now recording. Pokegaga says that's karma for trying to sympathy bait. The irony that he very likely has it is poetic justice. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why you don't fuck with karma that way. That is specifically why you don't fuck with karma that way. I will say this. The one thing that I didn't do growing up or even as an adult, I wouldn't like call in and say, okay, I can't come to work because my aunt died. Because you know what karma does? One day, your aunt's going to die. That's the way I always looked at it. I would never like do a fake illness for my parents, or like my parents passed away, or like grandparents or anything like that. I never did that for the simple fact I believe in karma, bro. You don't fuck with karma that way. Never fuck with karma, because it always comes back to bite you in the ass. You know? You ever had one of those like fellow employees that every member of their family has passed away? And it's amazing when they do, that their family members always seem to pass away on a Thursday. That way they have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. I'm just saying. Rum says the big brain move is to use family members that is already dead as an excuse. That's big brain. That's thinking too much for people, though.
Creators as sources of entertainment and nothing else, it really does seem like Boogie is staring straight at the potential end of his life in a not too distant future, and we get to see just what he does with his last days. By March 1st, he posted a video where he talks about going a month off of his antidepressants, meaning that he is quite literally not taking his meds. And though I can't really say what the effects of doing this were, this kind of screwing around with the medicine you've been prescribed is seriously advised against. It's also worth noting that in this video you can see him—
Wait, Poke Gaga said, I had an employee that we nicknamed Granny Killer. She died like 7 times. Oh my God! Y'all nicknamed her the Granny Killer? What the fuck, Poke Gaga? That's so fucked up. No. That's fucked up, Poke. What the fuck? Shit. Poor grandma. She was a fucking cat, bro. Everybody talks about Mr. Xiley being a cat. Apparently, their grandma was a cat. I'm just saying. Holy shit.
This kind of screwing around with the medicine you've been prescribed is seriously advised against. It's also worth noting that in this video you can see him drinking Mountain Dew. He's also posted several videos talking about his experiences with psychedelics since then, saying he's reached multiple revelations about himself as a person and who he is. Whether these various epiphanies will mean anything to his future, I can't say. As much as he's gone through and as intelligent and conscious of his own actions as he may seem, it does look like he's stuck in a cycle of doing bad things, doubling down, pushing everybody away from him, then feeling sorry for himself, rinse and repeat. Despite all of the videos he makes acknowledging how unwell of a person he truly is, none of it is to any avail, as it's just a matter of time until he's back doing his usual shtick. It doesn't feel at all like he's trying to change. More so, it seems like he's trying to cash into the credit his audience has extended to him and milk it for everything that it's worth. Even if you can still muster sympathy for him, there's always the fear in the background that as soon as he's given any leeway again, he'll go back to being his normal self. Hopefully I'm wrong. I've been Turkey Tom, thanks for watching, and until next time, leave me alone.
Leave me alone. I am Turkey Tom. Until next time, leave me the fuck alone. That's how I feel every day on this platform. Bruh. Y'all made my life hell today. Now I gotta go to the store. That's all right. I gotta go to the store anyway. I gotta go pick up dinner. Shit. Told you, Xiley. YouTubers use their cousins, sisters, daughters for death stories. Like we should be using their parents. Jesus Christ, Dev. No, Harley Quinn, and you put 20 towards it, so I'm like, I have a huge grudge against you. I'm just saying. I have a huge grudge against you. Oh, Rum, I've already seen it. I know what Desi, I know what the old Desi looks like compared to the new Desi. When I had my old podcast, one of my co-hosts, she brought it up, and I didn't know that until then. Yeah. I need a Diet Mountain Dew. I need a trauma Diet Mountain Dew because of you people. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to cook tonight. I might get something simple so I can cook another roast. I feel like I want to cook a roast. I don't know. We'll see what Walmart has. Now I have to go buy fucking makeup. Han Solo, I wouldn't even do that video. I don't care enough. Oh, you're cooking a roast right now? Hell yeah. Is anybody live or is anybody... Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, locale test is going live soon. I think. Hold on. Oh, they're going live in like an hour. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go. I appreciate all the fucking donations. We fixed the TTS today, so I appreciate y'all for that. I appreciate the donations, especially since I have to go out and buy fucking makeup now because of you wretched people. But I appreciate y'all coming out. I appreciate the new memberships and the donations. Y'all really supported today. Thank you. And tomorrow is my last time at the 10 a.m. mark. And I will be showing up in goth makeup. And I'll probably end up crying because it will be so goddamn depressing to have a face full of makeup on that I won't know what to do. Jen says, Xylee, I like your energy here over Rewind. Well, it's two different types of shows, Jen. Over here, I'm practically... Okay, so what I'm doing here is practically the same thing I did on my channel. This is literally what I did. I was a single content creator. Like, there wasn't a co-host, you know, except for every now and then, or if I did a hangout stream. And... I would literally go through and react to videos, give you my take on them, or I did a deep dive where I had a bunch of receipts and putting A and B together and all this other shit. That's what I did on my channel. What I'm doing here is practically my show from my channel. You know, this is where I came from. This is what I'm used to doing. You know, I've learned a lot about working with a co-host with Billy, though. And he's been a great teacher as far as like entertainment value and stuff like that goes. I love working with Billy. Oh, Jen says, oh, I know. You're fantastic as a standalone host is all I meant. Oh, well, thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Sleepy Shortcut says, have you decided what show you're going to keep? You know, somehow I feel like it's not going to be up to me. And honestly, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it either way. I'm not going to worry about it. Whatever happens, happens. I've learned working in the LCU, I don't worry about things that I can't control anymore. You know? The only thing I can do is give my opinion about it when it happens. I mean, if he takes this one away from me, that's fine. If I had to have a choice between Rewind and this, I'd take Rewind all day long. But somehow I feel like it's not going to be a choice. You know. Yeah. Either way, whatever happens, I'll be all right. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here because I have to find a tutorial. I got to find that one tutorial because I didn't save it. And then run to Walmart and get my fucking makeup and the Rimmel London Stay Matte. And whatever that screenshot that I took, I have to get that one too. I'm so excited. All right. Well, no redirect. Tess is supposed to be going live in like an hour, so there's no point in sending a redirect. So I'm just going to end the stream. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting the stream. Thank you for hitting the goal. I really appreciate it. And we started a new goal for the rise and fall of RTU. So I appreciate everything, guys. Have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I don't know if we're going to see you tonight on Rewind. I don't know if Rewind's going tonight. I have no clue. A lot of that depends on Billy. So I may or may not see you tonight, but I'll definitely see you 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out, guys.